What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Pylon to Pylon podcast. As you know, we did a mock draft last week, and today the main focal point of this episode will be touching on that mock draft. We only have 5 of us here, so for the others, we'll kind of grade those picks ourselves. We're going to go by team. So each person will go, they'll read off their team, what picks they had, and then they'll kind of give an explanation for their draft approach, whatever, and we'll grade it after that, and they'll give themselves a grade. We'll start with all the guys that are here. 3 guys missing. Ryan might join later on. If not, we will just do his division ourselves. Hilo and Sam Sports won't be joining us, so we'll do those for sure ourselves. And that is pretty much it. And we will have a depth chart up the whole time so you can kind of get a feel of the teams as people are talking about them and as they picked, and you can look at the depth chart. Share screen.
He's emerged.
That depth chart's up for everybody. You can see it.
Pretty good. I can see it.
You can see it? Okay, good. I just want to make sure because I can't tell. So I use Our Lads a lot. I don't know who out there does, but I think it's really good for depth charts. They even get into like position specifics most of the time. Sometimes it's off with just the position names, but typically they're very good and up to date with their depth charts. So that'll be our tool that we will use. So I don't know if anybody else wants to start. If not, I'll just start off with mine. All right, I'll start off. So I had the NFC East, and I guess I'll start with my Eagles, honestly. So we go to the depth chart. Going into it, we had, a normal haul picks later in the round. I definitely wanted to accumulate more draft picks, and I wanted to shed some cap, and I feel like I hit on both of those. First round, I went with Patrick Queen. It's a popular pick for the Eagles right now, and it's a big need, and he's a very good player there. So I thought it was a no-brainer for me.
I've heard that multiple times, bro. For sure. I've heard that multiple times. Like, people are –
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at this point it's either Patrick Queen, Kenneth Murray, or Justin Jefferson. That's the pick consensus in pretty much everywhere right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I wanted to attack linebacker first because I like the receiver depth, which was also something I wanted to attack. I basically wanted to attack, get at least one receiver, at least one linebacker, and that was really my main concerns, and shed cap. So first round we turned around, we got Patrick Queen. I love the pick. I don't know anybody who really disagrees with it as a good pick, unless anybody else has gripes about that. And then second round, we couldn't wait on our receiver. We saw T. Higgins go off the board the pick before to the Colts, and we wanted a bigger body receiver to add to that depth chart. As you can see, Alshon I don't see lasting too long with us. Other than that, we really just have Deshaun Jackson, who's a slot speed guy, and he is old too. So we really needed that big weapon and who can do a little of everything. So I feel like trading up, shedding a lot of cap from Fletcher Cox, while we still have Javon. If you go down to defense, we still have Javon Hargrave, Malik Jackson at DT. So for me, I didn't feel a need to have $22 million tied down to Fletcher Cox. So I shed that, traded up, and got my guy Laviska Shenault at 35. I love the trade. It's a very, feel like, polarizing trade. If you don't really look at it, in the cap sense, when the Eagles are very tight on cap right now and got people we have to sign next year. And he's 29, so paying that much for an older player when we have depth at the position instead of getting our guy.
Malik Jackson just sitting there. Malik Jackson just sitting there.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. People don't. We just got Javon Hargrave this year, and we have Malik Jackson still. So that's why I don't think it's as bad as a lot of people think. Then our next pick was we traded in that trade. It was the 53rd trade we traded. We traded Fletcher Cox in the 53rd, and I think a third next year. I think it was, and so we didn't have that pick. And then we went down to we didn't have another pick until number 67 because that was also the trade we got back in that trade. It was Fletcher Cox, that 50 whatever pick, and for this pick 67 at the beginning of the third round, and that 35 overall pick. So with that 67th pick, we went around, turned around again, and got Patrick Queen's linebacker teammate Jacob Phillips to put as another linebacker with the team. I think having both those two, the chemistry they already have, the fact that they're very similar players, and putting them near each other on that linebacker core, it kind of revamps it, I think, and we got them in the third round. So, yeah, other than that, I had that pick, and then we really didn't pick too much other than that. I think we just had the compensatory pick, I believe, which was 39 in the third round, which was probably my favorite pick of ours, which was Jeremy Chin, the safety from Southern Illinois. We got him at 103. He is, I think, the third safety on my board and a first-round talent for me. And we got him at 103 with a compensatory pick, so we were really happy about that. We put him next to Jalen Mills. It's a great safety combo. And we eventually get rid of Rodney McLeod, shed cap there, so I really like that. Yeah, so that was all the Eagles picks. I liked my draft. It wasn't my favorite draft of my 4 teams that I drafted, but I think I'd give it a B+ or an A-, just because I'm kind of considering the trade. It could really be perceived as either way, just because it's such a big name involved in it, and Fletcher Cox, and he's been such a cornerstone for us in our franchise. So I'd give it. I want to go A- though, just because I think Jeremy Chin brings it to an A- at 103. If I didn't get that good of a pick at 103, I'd probably give it a B+. What do you guys think for that one?
I can agree on that. Good.
You know what I think.
Yeah, I know. Dennis is an Eagles fan, and he wasn't a fan of the Fletcher Cox pick. Now, why weren't you? I haven't heard a real full reasoning why you don't like that trade.
Because you could just, if you would have traded Malik Jackson, I thought you did perfect, to be honest with you.
Well, originally I had offered him Malik Jackson. He wouldn't do it. I was all for getting rid of Malik Jackson. He wanted a legit DT in the deal to give up 35. So I remembered Fletcher Cox had a lot of cap, and that was one of my big things I wanted to do for the Eagles. So I think that's why I connected, and I said, you know what, this will work. Because he specifically said he wanted a DT at the time when he was trying to trade down at that moment.
I feel like it's hard to justify an A grade for trading away your franchise player, though.
Exactly.
Well, he's not a franchise player. He's 29.
Yeah, that's not that old.
That's pretty old for a $22 million DT. That's pretty old.
For an interior lineman, that's not bad. He doesn't have to have that much athleticism. He's just got to be strong and big. And
well, yeah, we don't need anybody with athleticism there. That's why we are solid there with Malik Jackson and Javon Hargrave. That's the only reason I did it is because we had the depth. If we didn't have those two players who could both start at DT on a lot of teams, I wouldn't.
So my honest opinion is I give it a C+ that could develop to an A-.
A B+, you said?
C+.
Oh, that's a wide gap. What would develop it?
Depending how Fletcher Cox's career continues. What if he ends up being a Hall of Famer and you missed out on the rest of
He might already be a Hall of Famer from what he's done already. But.
Of course. But now
you're not getting you don't have Hall of Fame Fletcher Cox right now. You have 29-year-old Fletcher Cox who's highly overpaid right now. That's what you have. You don't have Hall of Fame Fletcher Cox. He's already been showing signs of slowing down, especially last year. He definitely showed signs of slowing down.
I don't know, man. I think he's at the height of his career.
Height of it? No, definitely not. Definitely not.
You also have to see what comes with Chenault.
Well, I'm saying specifically as the division he plays. He's not a running back, bro.
Who, Fletcher
Interior
Cox?
D linemen can play till the late 30s easily.
They usually don't, though. They usually start – they have a similar turnaround age area as running backs and cornerbacks, honestly. That's what I've been noticing.
DT.
But that's fair. Everybody's got their grades. I think it would work out very well for us. It does come with risks, obviously. Laviska Chenault's a risk, but as is every single receiver except Jerry Jeudy in this draft. So.
No, they all risk.
You could have got
even CeeDee Lamb. You
could have got Henry Ruggs though, where you drafted.
He's a huge risk too.
I don't know.
I'm not high on Henry Ruggs. I got him.
Third
if I go to
rounder?
my board, he is not on my top 9 receivers. He's not in my top 50.
That's crazy.
Chenault's number 2 for me. But yeah, so that was my Eagles. I'd say so it's average
Henry
B.
Ruggs is my third receiver.
Solid B grade would be the
Yeah.
average overall. Because what'd you give it, Dante?
Eagles,
Yeah,
I'll give it a-
my Eagles draft.
A minus.
A
Damn.
minus. I did A minus. Alec, well, mine doesn't count. Alec did C
I'll
plus
give you
for
a B.
now.
I'll give you a B minus.
B minus. Tyler, you said what?
I think a B minus is good.
B
with the
minus, B
potential to be-
minus, A minus, and then I know Dennis is lower on it. Where do you have it, Dennis?
I give you a C.
C.
This is 78 C, so you're getting a C plus.
Without that trade, and we don't end up getting a receiver, what do you have it? Like we don't get
I
a
might have
receiver
to
at all
put-
because
no, I'm
that's what
going
it was looking
back-
like. What was going to happen?
I'm going back
Here's
to
my
C
thing.
plus, man.
Without that trade,
C plus.
and you're getting an injured receiver with the trade.
Well, if you look at it, almost every big receiver in this draft class has injury issues. Every single one.
Yeah, so I wasn't really looking at a big receiver. I was looking to get a couple receivers.
Well, I'm saying big name, like any of the big name receivers. Pretty much all of them have
Michael
some injury
Pittman
issues.
Jr.
That's the guy.
I'm way higher on Laviska Shenault than Michael Pittman
Chase
Jr. He's a great
Claypool.
jump ball guy, but Laviska Shenault does
Laviska
70
I'm
Shenault.
not,
better
I'm
than
not
him.
high on Chase Claypool.
Donovan
But I
Peoples-Jones.
am high on
Donovan Peoples-Jones.
I like Donovan
Peoples-
Peoples-Jones. He's just
Denzel Mims.
Those-
fifth on my
Donovan
receivers.
Peoples-Jones still has so much more.
Denzel Mims, definitely.
I'm not high on
DPJ still
Mims.
needs
Gabriel
to
Davis. T.
develop a
Higgins.
lot.
So yeah, I'd say it was about. I'll go with the B minus average. I'd say right if we're doing
Yeah, that's
B
average.
minus, B minus, A minus, and a C. Yeah, I'd go B minus for the Eagles. Okay, I'll take it.
I love Laviska Shenault, but I'm not putting a risk out there for him.
No, I hear you.
I'm not trading up to get him.
Right. I'm not risking.
I just love the versatility he brings. He's like a
But I love
receiver
him.
version of Trey Burton, pretty much for us. He can be
Yeah,
that.
but I feel like you guys don't need that. You already have
What's
a
the
good
next
receiver
team?
in Alshon.
It's time for
Yeah,
Alshon
I'm not going to
go
get into
somewhere.
Alshon. Definitely not getting into Alshon. But yeah, I'll go to the next team. I'll do Redskins since I really didn't do too much with them. I just got to pull up the team.
Trash ass draft, bro.
There it is. Hold on. Sorry, I got to move this. It's hard to see. I went so Redskins. I'm blank. Where the hell? Oh. Redskins. Okay. So for the Redskins, I went and kind of threw the first curveball into the draft mix and drafted Isaiah Simmons, pick number 2 overall instead of Chase Young, the widely regarded first pick. You go to the roster. I mean, Montez Sweat, Deron Payne, Jonathan Allen, Ryan Kerrigan, Matt Ioannidis. Why do you need another D lineman? Why? You have a surplus of all very talented, pretty much all first-round wide D linemen. Why do you need a Chase Young when you have Cole Holcomb and Kevin Pierre-Louis starting at outside linebacker and 86-year-old Thomas Davis at middle when Isaiah Simmons on the board? I think it's common sense to take Isaiah Simmons here. In real life, in this draft, I think it was common sense. You're weak at linebacker. Your best part of your team is your D-line. I don't see taking Chase Young over Isaiah Simmons, but that's just me. So I went there. I got him there. And then round 2, they didn't have a pick. No.
Why didn't you try to trade Montez Sweat or Jonathan Allen or Ryan Kerrigan?
I think it's Ryan Kerrigan the one that's going to be.
I didn't think there was a high market for Ryan Kerrigan. So I didn't even bother putting him in trade talks. I wasn't really trying too much to trade with the Redskins. I kind of liked where they picked. So, and I definitely wanted one of those premier players at number 2. So, I don't know. I didn't really have like an urge to trade with this team specifically. So I didn't really have too many picks other than that because it's really not like a team that needs a lot, but it has a few like big positions. But I did want to get another corner, and I did do that with the second overall pick in the 3rd round, number 66, with Cam Dantzler. Corner I'm very high on, tall, lengthy, super physical, arguably besides Jeff Okudah, the best pure press man coverage corner in this draft class. Was super excited to get him in the 3rd round. You add him to Kendall Fuller, Fabian Moreau, Ronald Darby, and you have a nice corner team there. So I feel like I attacked 2 different positions group with my first 2 picks, kind of made them a lot better with just those picks. What else did I have? I think that was it for the Redskins. I was hoping everybody get prepared. I truly didn't prepare my own board. Huh?
You didn't get them no weapons?
Listen, you're talking about a team with Kyle Allen, Dwayne Haskins at quarterback. I don't give a who my weapons are this year. I'm not winning a Super Bowl. You're not winning a Super Bowl with Dwayne Haskins or Kyle Allen at quarterback. Not going to happen. I'll get weapons next year. I don't care. I have Terry McLaurin still.
When you plan on getting him a quarterback?
Wow.
Address it eventually. I don't think they're going to go quarterback this draft either. I think Ron Rivera likes Kyle Allen. I don't think Kyle Allen's that bad. He's not going to win you a Super Bowl, like I said. So we don't have a quarterback on this roster who can win.
He's not bad, though.
No, he's not terrible. He's not going to win a Super Bowl.
He's not.
But if you don't have a quarterback that's capable,
This
of winning
offense
a Super Bowl,
as a whole
then what's
isn't
the
going to
point?
win a Super Bowl. So I didn't feel a need to take a receiver just because we needed it over
Well, what about
another need where there was better players at.
Will your boy
Huh?
Juice be back healthy this year?
Yeah, I mean, they have Terry McLaurin. He's a solid receiver, so they have at least one good receiver. So I was comfortable with not picking up a true offensive weapon for them just because they're not a win-now team. So I wasn't going to give up on a corner like Cam Dantzler that late for what was left as a receiver. Definitely not.
Free Trent Williams.
And
Free Trent Williams.
Free my guy.
Yeah, so that was really it. I just had those two trades. I feel like for what I was working with, I could have traded down, drafted more picks, but I mean, I feel like that's just nitpicking. I'll just give it a solid B+. I mean, people are going to argue I should have took Chase Young, but if you look at the roster and the talent
No,
level
I think you
between
did
the
pretty
two,
good not taking Chase Young, man.
and if you're thinking about the player itself, Isaiah Simmons could be the best player in this draft class. He has that potential.
I'll give you a B+ on that one.
And if we need him to, we can plug him in at free safety where Sean Davis is.
He would have got an A if he'd got him a weapon.
So what was the grades for the Redskins?
D+.
B+. Yeah, it's just hard with two draft picks to really give it a true judgment. I think I nailed both of those picks, but I can't give myself more than an A- just because it's only two picks. What do you think, Alec?
For the Redskins?
Yeah, Isaiah Simmons 2nd overall and Cam Dantzler 66 overall. Like I said, I couldn't give myself anywhere in the A's just because it's only two draft picks. So I gave myself a B+ just because I think I nailed both of them.
I think it's crazy that the Washington Redskins have this many needs and still only have 2 picks, and they have Trent Williams sitting 3rd on their depth chart.
I can't give it less
Well, I think in this draft, if you give them both those players, they really don't have much defensive need at all.
It's just gonna be a B.
What would you have done different? You would have traded down, right?
No, it's just because Isaiah, like, if it has Isaiah Simmons in it, I can't give it less than a B.
Well,
Honestly, that's literally it. That's like
what would keep it from a B+ then?
there's not. I feel like there's nothing you really could do. There's only 2 picks.
Yeah, that's why I went B+. I think I did the best with what I could for 2 picks, and I did it interesting too. And I hit 2 needs, so good players.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I'd say
No, that's good
B+,
players.
B+
but, like,
average, probably, right?
yeah.
All right.
So many other glaring needs. It's hard. You can't really-
Yeah. So the other 2 teams were where I had fun, I think. Those are my favorite teams, I think. The Giants and Redskins. I will do Giants and Cowboys, sorry. I'll do the Cowboys first. I did do a trade with this. I don't want to be too off on the details, so I'm actually going to pull it up real quick. Our exact trade. Okay, so the Cowboys, I wanted to accumulate picks. I wanted to get a impact safety. I wanted to replace Travis Frederick at some point. And I also wanted to round out that DB core and get another corner. So those are my main concerns with the Cowboys. There's really not a lot they need, to be honest with you. It's mostly defense and maybe another receiver to go with Gallup and Cooper. But other than that, they're pretty stacked of a team on paper. But I did come to a trade because I said I wanted to get more picks. I got the 31st pick, that second Niners pick, from Dante in a trade for Jordan Lewis, and the 51st pick that we had that second rounder. So I traded our second rounder, Jordan Lewis, and one of the 4th-round picks we had this year. And I got Jason Verrett and the 31st pick back. I think it worked for both teams well. The Niners needed a more reliable, healthy option than Jason Verrett at corner, even though they do like him and they just re-signed him. But it gives them more of security at that position for them. And it's a good player. Jordan Lewis is a very good corner. With that 31st pick, we got Cesar Ruiz. So I was happy. Like I said, I wanted to replace Travis Frederick, and I didn't have to reach on him like I almost did at 17. So we still got him. I still had the 17th pick, or the 16th pick, rather. And with that 16th pick, probably the most controversial pick of the draft was Antoine Winfield Jr. I thought it was a dynamite pick. Right now, he is being projected in the 2 faces of draft, Mel Kiper and Todd McShay. Kiper has him at 26 to the Dolphins, and McShay has him at 19 to the Raiders. So I don't think it was as much of a reach as people are saying it is. He's easily the number 1 safety on my board. He could play nickel corner, slot, or nickel corner, outside corner, free safety, strong safety. He will play whatever you want him to play. Tyrann Mathieu 2.0 with 10 to 15 more pounds. I mean, if you really look at him and Tyrann Mathieu, compare their career track, they're on almost the same track, just different reasons. Antoine Winfield really only played 1 full impact season, just like Tyrann Mathieu, but his was because of injury, and it wasn't because of marijuana. So, really, that's what I think you're getting with Antoine Winfield Jr. He's a top 10 overall player on my board, and we got him at 15 or 16, and I absolutely love the pick. Still got Cesar Ruiz at 31 on that trade down. And then we were still left with the 82nd pick where we got, I thought was a pretty big steal in Noah Igbenogany, the corner from Auburn.
Yeah, Mom.
Pretty big steal at 82. So, yeah, so those are the 3 picks I ended up having after I traded up. I got rid of the second and moved it up to 31 to get Cesar Ruiz. So total losses were Jordan Lewis and a 4th-round pick this year in the trade, but the total gains were Jason Verrett in the trade, Antoine Winfield Jr., Cesar Ruiz, and Noah Igbenogany as the gains from that. Yeah, so that's pretty much my Cowboys draft. I give it an A-.
A-.
I went close to an A, but I have to – it'll be an A if Antoine Winfield stays healthy. It'll be an A to an A+ for me. But it's an A- just because of health on my top player. Yeah, so I give it A-. What other grades do people have? And I'm gonna let Ryan into the group now as you guys talk about this.
I don't like the Verrett trade, honestly.
You like it or don't like it? I know you're a Chargers fan, so
I gave Verrett a lot of years to stay healthy, and dude can't stay healthy. He went to the 49ers, got injured in training camp, then got injured again. And he's just never healthy. And you're trading away Jordan Lewis, who's a potential lockdown slot corner.
Yeah, our plans were to replace him anyways later, which we did do in Igbenogany, who's also a good slot corner. So that's why I was comfortable doing that. I felt there was a lot of good slot corners.
Oh,
and if Jason Verrett doesn't stay healthy, now we have Noah Igbenogany to play right into. So
yeah, I don't know.
That's why I mentioned I wanted to get another corner in the draft is because of the trade. Because I know Verrett's health.
I feel like you're just giving away Jordan Lewis at that point.
But hey, Tyler, I've been high on I've been a Jordan Lewis fan.
Jordan Lewis is nice.
When on the field, though, you can't say Jordan Lewis is any better than Jason Verrett, though.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Jason Verrett's never on the field.
But that's why we drafted the security in Noah Igbenogany, who's a very good slot corner.
Jordan Lewis hasn't been on the field since the Baltimore Orioles made the playoffs.
Oh. Damn. What's going on, gentlemen?
What's going on, Ryan? Ryan Fields drafted for the NFC North.
Call him a government out. I done told you.
Nope,
that's my son.
Bro, I was playing Madden, man. My bad.
It's all right. We didn't get to you. We're still on my division, the first division. Yeah, so that was the Cowboys. What are the grades? I gave A-, A to A+ potential. What'd you say, Dante?
A-.
A-. Tyler, what'd you say? You said a B or a B+?
Yeah, I'll do B+.
All right. So A-, B+. Alec, what'd you have on it?
B+.
B+. Dennis?
Yeah, I'm going to have to go and give you a B. That was good.
Despite the Antoine trade, I still got a B. Besides even with the Antoine draft. I don't know if you just want to come in now, Ryan. I can explain what I did with the Cowboys again. You can grade it real quick.
Yeah, I'm listening.
All right. So we wanted to replace Travis Frederick. We wanted to get a premier safety, and we wanted to try and get another corner due to the trade that we made. The trade that was let me pull it up again. Sorry. Yeah, so the trade I did before the draft, I did with the Niners, I traded Jordan Lewis, number 51, and the 4th round pick this year for Jason Verrett and the 31st pick. And with that 31st pick, I drafted Cesar Ruiz to complete the line again and replace Travis Frederick. That's why I did that trade up, so I didn't have to reach for Cesar Ruiz at 16. And then 16, I picked Winfield. You missed my little rant. Tyrann Mathieu clone. If he stays healthy, it brings my grade up even more, I think. Top 10 player on my board. The main thing we wanted to attack, which was safety. Got him at 16. And then we wanted to get another corner just in, because Verrett has his injury issues. So we wanted to get another corner to add depth plus an insurance for Verrett. So we ended up getting Noah Igbenogany from Auburn at 82. Yeah, 82. And that was our last pick. We had those 3 picks. So the total losses were Jordan Lewis and a 4th round pick this year. Our total gains were Jason Verrett, Antoine Winfield Jr., Cesar Ruiz, and Noah Igbenogany.
Yeah, I'll give it a B+.
A plus?
I said a B+.
Oh, I was about to say that's wild.
Yeah.
No, I said for mine, I gave it an A-, and it could be an A or an A+ if Antoine Winfield stays healthy. That's the big turning point for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, I already did Redskins, Eagles. So now the last one for me is the Giants. I don't know where the screen thing went. That's weird. Let me see. There it is. Okay. So Giants. Got the Giants up there. So the Giants, as you know, had the 4th pick. I didn't want to be in that 4th pick position. There's a lot of needs, a lot of things I wanted to hit on. So I wanted to accumulate draft stock. So this was my big trade, I think, of the whole draft for all my teams was let me pull it up.
The Giants' offensive line makes me want to vomit.
Yeah, it was the big trade, number 4. I traded number 4 away to Dante again, but with the Cardinals. He gave me back Patrick Peterson, Andy Isabella, the receiver from UMass that was drafted last year by them, the speedy guy, and a 1st round pick next year and that was for number 4 straight up. I loved doing the deal. It worked out for both of us. As you'll know later, Dante got widely regarded the top player in the draft at 4 still. So it worked out for him, and he kept his top 10 pick. We get a big-time corner. We still get a 1st round next year, and we get a field stretcher in Andy Isabella, which the Giants need, obviously, if you look. So if you look at the depth chart. We turned around, number 36, which was our 1st pick since we traded that pick away in the 2nd round, and we got Jeff Gladney from TCU. Number 3 corner on my board. It kind of really, if you go to this secondary, you put Patrick Peterson in already. You now have Patrick Peterson, James Bradbury, 2 top corners in the NFL who can cover almost any number 1 receiver. You go ahead, you add Jeff Gladney to that to play the nickel, probably the best nickel corner in this draft.
They got Jabril?
Yeah, they have the Browns trade with Odell.
Yeah, safety.
So then because we wanted to just revamp the secondary, try and make it the best secondary in football. So we wanted to get a free safety too. So we saw some guys going off the board. So we traded up from 99 to 69 to get our guy Ashton Davis, the safety. So now you plug him in here. You have Ashton Davis, free safety. You got Jabril Pepper, strong safety. You got Bradbury and Peterson on the outside. And then you have Jeff Gladney at the slot. I don't know about you, but I think that's bar none the best secondary in football. If these players pan out like they're supposed to, that's the best secondary in football, I think.
Well, You forgot about the Chargers, so you need to.
I
calm
would take
down.
that over the Chargers. To be honest,
You're on drugs.
You are out of your mind.
Both the Chargers corners are aging.
Casey
Hayward is not
Chris
playing
Harris,
like he has
Desmond
been
King.
at that top tier like everybody was trying to project him at.
Derwin James. There's 3
Going
all-pro
forward-
first-team corners on that team.
Going forward, I would take that secondary more just because your main corners are old.
It's
You know the
fucking New Jack City. Are you serious?
Chris Harris is like 86 years old.
You know that they have 3 all-pro.
So going
corners on the
forward,
team and
I don't
2
see how
all-pro
you can put
safeties.
a Charger secondary over that. Going forward,
Tyler,
Because
he's wrong.
every
because
one of those
Derwin
players
James-
besides Patrick Peterson is under like 28 years old.
Because Derwin James is the best player out of anybody you named.
That's a
That's
fact.
one player though. You're
By
talking
a
about
long
5
mile.
different DB positions. I'm not talking about one player. Because then you could say the Jets is better because Jamal Adams is better than Derwin James. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's
No.
at least in the top 3 conversation, bottom line. And I don't think there's any way around it. So if you add it up, total losses, I lost Dexter Lawrence in a 4th round next year. And, well, you can count the 4th round pick, but there was people replaced in that. So if you want to count number 4 overall, too, in the losses. Total gains.
Hey, Jordan, can I ask you, Jared, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you just not like defensive linemen?
I like defensive line. But
You just
If you
trade
look-
all of them like, oh, yeah, take him. We don't need him.
Giants don't have a surplus if you really look
I
at
can
it.
see if you traded Big Cat Williams. That made sense.
I mean, I'm not high on Dexter Lawrence. I was going to use him as a big chip in the mock draft, and I knew that. And I was confident I can get a deal done with him. So he was a main trade point for me with the Giants. You still have O'Shane Zimenez, who's actually been playing very well and
He didn't do
over
shit.
his draft stock and projection. You plug him in, and you have him, you have Dalvin Tomlinson, you have Leonard Williams. I didn't feel a need for DT, especially when you look at the secondary they have, and even on offense. If I wanted to go the offensive direction, there was so much more I could have done besides Andy Isabella.
You
DT
could
was
have
pretty
not
far down
traded
the
that
line.
first-round pick away and had more than me, Black, and Dante blocking for Daniel Jones.
Facts. Because
Again, not enough. This is not a win now team. Everybody knows it. They got a lot of work to do. I'm not
They got a
focused
lot of
on.
work.
I'm not focused on getting no linemen with them right now. I'm focused on getting premier players that you're going to have for a while. When you do start building that O-line and you're an actually competing team, you have these impact players.
There's way
That's a big thing for me that I've noticed with the draft is people screw themselves a lot strictly going for need. And that's why people start shying away from it more. A lot of GMs shy away from doing that more in the draft now because they noticed it.
But you got to also remember, though, Jared, when you're at that position and you're drafting that high, you also draft for need, but you also, you get the best player available. You see what I'm saying? So,
absolutely. That's why you weren't in it at first. With the Redskins, I was going over the Redskins. I didn't want to lose out on Isaiah Simmons.
But what I'm saying is this: with your Giants pick, like you drafted off of future talent, but that's not going to equate to wins right now. So
on top of that, technically you didn't draft anything with the Giants.
Yeah, so
you're probably going to get maybe another win or two just from the secondary, but that's it. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
No, so what I'm saying is, look at this. Like, if you go, they have a need for linemen.
Mm-hmm.
They have a need for edge rusher because Marcus Golden really was the only one getting pressure all year.
And for some reason they got rid of him, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I didn't understand.
I think it was the confidence in O'Shane Zimenez's performance last year. Honestly, I think that's why they were comfortable.
But hell, even when he was in though, like he was so spotty because he's so raw.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
He has no and I don't like Jabril Peppers. I'm sorry, I don't like him. I don't understand the Antoine Bethea thing. I don't understand why Antoine Bethea is playing free safety and Jabril is playing strong. Shit doesn't make any sense.
Well, we've seen Jabril Peppers can't be a one man over the top safety. We've seen that, and I don't know. That was
Jabrill's a lot better.
He should never went to the Browns. Greg Williams did nothing right with him. He had him in that angel safety coverage where you're extra 3 to 5 yards.
You're extra 3 to 5 yards back there.
Yeah. And they had Jabril Peppers in that lone safety. Like that made no sense to me.
Peppers looked really, really good on the Giants last year.
He did play well. That's why I was confident. He played very well for the Giants last year.
I knew when they put him at strong safety,
he really did show up.
He would play really
Once
well.
he got traded,
He can't be playing deeper than 20 yards. He can't be playing deeper than 15 yards. He needs to be up.
He's basically like a deep middle linebacker.
He stepped in, replaced Landon Collins, and you wouldn't even know Landon Collins was gone because he did the same.
But no, I do get what you were saying though. Like that was my thing though. Like I didn't want to take like a permit. It was just with the Giants team, how it was, and who was going to be on the board at 4.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't feel like getting one premier player was better than getting somebody who's already a proven shutdown corner, a field stretcher, and a first-round pick next year. Because remember, I got their first-round pick next year in that deal too. I got all three of those pieces. So I feel like I hit on a receiver and a corner instead of getting one premier player. You got an older, aged premier player and then a younger field stretcher for the offense. Because I knew I wasn't going to go heavy on the
So
offense.
you didn't get any linemen?
That's
No,
what I was saying.
He didn't keep a first-round pick this year. He traded it and got nothing back.
I traded
in
the
return
fourth
for
pick
this year.
for Patrick Peterson, Andy Isabella, and their first-round pick next year.
Wait, Tyler, what? Tyler, say that again?
He traded away his first-round pick this year
Mm-hmm.
and got no first-round pick back this year. So he
I got a
didn't draft
first-round
until
pick
the
next
second round.
year, Patrick Peterson, and Andy Isabella. Just for 4. Instead of getting
Why do you need Andy Isabella, though?
Why
Because
do you
he
need
was
Patrick
What do you
Peterson?
look at their receiver core? They have nobody who can stretch the field. They have one decent receiver, big receiver in Darius Slayton. They have old
Darius
Golden
Slayton.
Tate, and they
They
have
got
injured
Golden
Sterling
Tate.
Shepard. They need a field stretcher.
But you got
Yeah.
to understand how you gonna stretch the field when he can't throw the ball.
Yeah, when you went down to the
He's
quickie
for the
mart and picked
future.
up
That's
3
not for
guys.
next
from
year.
the-
I'm not talking about.
But check it though. You
I'm
said that-
developing Andy Isabella. That's the whole point of picking him.
You're right, but look at it from a talent perspective. If you look at the whole draft when you're looking at linemen at tackles, because Nate Solder hasn't lived up to his contract, right?
No.
Okay, so you're at least 6 tackles deep that can all go in the first round. You got two maybes. You got 2 maybes.
There's only 1 or 2 I'm comfortable with as like a premier. Like I know they're going to be good, and that's Wills and Wirfs. And I still have some reserves about Wills. I actually moved Wirfs as my top tackle. He's the only pretty much flawless tackle I've seen.
I'd have took him, or like you said, you know what I'm saying, Wills.
And before I did this trade, I had, to be honest, I didn't think Chase Young would be on the board.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason.
And then you got an agent ass Patrick Peterson at 30.
Yeah, I mean he's still not. He's right at that threshold of where he's going to start declining, but he's still playing like a very good corner. In the last, I think it was 7 weeks of the season last year, he was the top rated corner in all of football.
You just
the
got on
Giants-
Tyler about Chargers secondary being old. And Patrick Peterson old.
Huh? Oh yeah, no, I'm not denying that, but he's still a premier player at the time. I'm not going to use that as like that's what I said when we were talking about the 2 secondaries comparing. I'm like Patrick Peterson's older, but besides him, the rest of that secondary is basically rookies or 1-year pro, 2-year pro.
Yeah.
That's
the
what that
Giants just spent
comparison
a
is.
first-round pick on a corner last year.
Yeah, and they should have picked him in the second. He didn't perform well last year.
Shit,
You're confident with DeAndre Baker at corner as your number 2 corner right now? He needs
like
to develop. He could be a
I like
good
I
corner.
like
He needs
Baker.
to
I
develop.
do
like
like
Baker.
DeAndre Baker.
He compete every down. He gonna
Oh
compete.
yeah, no, but he gave up a lot last year, especially
Yeah,
at the beginning.
when you got a
He got
horrible
better
ass
though.
when you got a
He
horrible
did
ass
get better.
D-line, can't nobody cover with that bullshit.
I feel like I don't know. I just feel like it was no point to trade out of this year's first round to get Patrick Peterson. You just didn't need to do it.
Yeah,
Well, it wasn't
because-
just him. It was another first-round pick and a receiver. I wanted to hit 2 positions and get a first-round picks back still. If
You
I'm
just
giving up-
essentially negated 2 of the 3 first rounders.
The only
Giants had last year by
person
getting
I
rid
would
of
have rather
Lawrence.
had than those 3 pieces right now was Chase Young. I would have rather had Patrick Peterson, Andy Isabella in a first than any of the O-linemen and maybe Jeff
I don't
Okuda. Yeah, just because Jeff Okuda would play where Patrick Peterson plays anyways. So it'd
I
be
don't
Jeff
know.
Okuda or
You just said Andy Isabella up to get cut because he ain't gonna play.
he's not going to play with these receivers?
Hell no.
Damari
Okay.
Scott's going to start over him?
No, look.
Cody Core's going to start over him?
Look, man. So Golden Tate is a dog. Period. I don't give a damn. Whatever team he goes to,
He's
gonna
cool,
compete.
yeah. He'd be one of the
Okay.
starting receivers.
Yeah, but okay. Then you're looking at Darius Slayton. He came on late to be one of them.
No, he's not bad at all. He's their bigger body
Yeah.
receiver they have.
And
Yeah,
Sterling
And you got
Shepard, when
Sterling
he's
Shepard.
healthy, he's productive.
yeah,
He's
but
productive.
but
But
like we've been,
Ingram is the one who disappears. You don't ever
Yeah.
see him.
you can't trust Sterling Shepard's health at this point, especially because it's concussions. You have to think about the injuries. These are concussions. Concussions don't go away. You keep getting concussions until you stop playing football.
But check it, though. You still got 3 targets. I don't need Andy Isabella. I'm not going to play him. Hell,
Well, this isn't for next year. This is for building in the
I'm
future. That's what I'm
playing
saying.
him
Golden Tate's going to be gone within a year or 2 anyways. He's old.
Andy Isabella
Son.
is going to return kicks. Hell, you're not going to catch no ball.
Oh, he can return. Who, Andy Isabella? He's a return man too.
He's a return man. He does his thing in the return game.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where he'll be at. But he
But
wouldn't-
yeah, anyways,
I'm not
too
going-
much
I'm
too
not
much
going
time
to
on me. We spent a
draft
lot.
him. Like, if that was the case, I would have got him last year.
I just think it was crazy that you traded away one of their first-round picks last year. Basically, gave up on their second first-round pick last year.
No,
then
DeAndre Baker's
traded
still
your-
there. DeAndre Baker will
Yeah, but
still be
he-
playing. He's that fourth corner rotation guy.
And I like Julian Love. He was a good nickel corner last
He's
year.
okay. He's okay.
Decent.
I don't know.
Aaron
I feel like that you just traded and didn't address a single need that they had.
What do you mean? You're gonna tell me secondary is not a need for them?
Yes,
you
but
seen
not
their-
Patrick Peterson.
Have you seen that offensive line, bro? Their
That offensive line is horrible. That's a
But
simple
they're
went-
not winning now. They have no. Do you think they honestly have intentions of winning a Super Bowl or making the
Do
playoffs?
you think there's a
next year?
single offensive lineman in the draft?
So
next
what
year that's as
happens
good
when
as
you
this year?
draft the Tristan Wirfs, right? You draft the Tristan Wirfs, and you're not even in winning position for the next 2 to 3 years. That's a wasted
draft-
pick to me.
You draft Tristan Wirfs and
you're blocking for an
three-fifths of your line
off-season
is
quarterback.
good.
And I'm not even a believer in Daniel Jones, so I don't know why I'm getting a lineman to protect a quarterback I don't even believe in. Why would I do that?
He played good though.
He
I mean,
did.
he's okay. He's
He
not
had
the guy I want
he
my
almost had
franchise to be built
he
around.
almost had a record rookie season.
Yeah,
for
he
what
played
record?
damn good.
He was injured. Okay, so he was
For what record, though?
4 games.
'Cause
Hold on, he
that's
was
a big
injured
claim.
for 4
'Cause
games.
His
Bro,
rookie
listen.
season didn't come close to
You're
Andrew Luck,
defending-
Cam
you're not even
Newton's, or
listening
RG
to me.
Brees.
Bro, he was injured for 4 games. He played 12 games. He
Uh-huh.
threw almost for as many touchdowns as Baker Mayfield did during his rookie season, breaking the rookie season passing touchdown record.
How many did he have?
As many, I believe Daniel Jones had like 22. Baker Meal.
Well, he didn't
Baker
have more than
Mayfield had
RG3's rookie
26.
season.
Huh?
He didn't have more than RG3's rookie season.
He
I
also
don't-
doesn't have Trent Williams blocking for him.
Hell no.
No, I'm just saying because he said he had a record-setting year. I don't think he's.
Who, Baker Mayfield?
No, Daniel Jones. He didn't take any records. There's no
He
rookie
said he
records.
almost
I
did.
don't think. Unless it's like one of
He
those
almost
weird
did. Yeah, he almost did.
I don't know.
Either
Yeah,
way,
almost
I don't like Daniel Jones. I never liked him. I don't think he did anything this year to prove much any otherwise. He put up a little bit better numbers than I expected from his rookie year, but I don't see him going up anywhere. So
There are
basically,
sure
that
about
was
There are 3
if
positions
I had
in
a
the NFL
premier
that are
quarterback
premium.
I was confident in as being my franchise quarterback, I probably would
All
have.
right, so here's the numbers. Here's the numbers. He threw for 3,000, just over 3,000 passing yards, 24 touchdowns, 12 interceptions in 12 games.
Yeah,
That's pretty damn good.
that's good.
That's a 2-1 rating.
Solid.
For a rookie.
That's pretty
rookie,
solid. That's
Rookie.
solid.
I don't see him
Rookie.
going anywhere up from there, though. if we're
But I
being honest.
mean, bro, now you got him with a new offensive coordinator, and you get him a tackle that he knows. Nate Solder's not ass, but he's not great either. Will Hernandez, he's underachieved. Period. He
Mhm.
wasn't a first round
I'd
grade.
move him to center. He'd be moving to center for me.
That motherfucker move out because he sucks. and then you get him another right tackle in Jedrick from Alabama, or you get.
Well, I would have took Wirfs, but
Yeah, I mean,
I know what
you
you're
get either
saying. I know
one.
what
You
you're
get
saying.
either one. You play Uno, whatever. You get either one. Now you have somebody that can actually build with him, that he can
Now you have
trust.
3
That
good
gives
offensive
Saquon,
linemen.
that gives Saquon more room to run, which he, you know what I'm saying? He had to fight for everything he had.
Yeah, no. I mean,
And
I
then-
agree with everything you guys have said pretty much. I think it just comes down to how you would be building your team personally and how you feel about certain players.
Built
Because
this shit
I'm
like
not
this
high on
right
Daniel
now.
Jones. So why am I going to build a line around a quarterback I
He
don't
also
him
has,
personally
yo,
I wouldn't have on my team within the next 2 years?
Yo,
That's the only reason for me.
he
Other
also
people like Daniel
has-
Jones are confident with him. I can understand an offensive lineman pick.
Yo, one more thing. He also has the single game passing touchdown record for a rookie quarterback of all time.
Mm-hmm.
5.
What week
There's
was that? I'm
not
trying to
impressed.
remember. I'm
There's
looking
not
at what week
impressed.
that was.
My
One
whole
week
thing
he went
is,
off, I remember.
in the NFL, there's 3 premier spots that you have: pass rush, left tackle, and quarterback. The Giants need 2 of those 3, and you didn't address either.
At all.
Which ones do they need? They need offensive line.
They
and
need
what?
edge rush
They need an edge
bad,
rusher, period.
and they need a left tackle or a right tackle bad. Cameron Fleming could be hanging out at the 7-Eleven drinking 4 Locos next week
Right.
because he's
No,
so
I
fucking
agree. They
bad.
do need pass rush. I also didn't think pass rush was going to be that important once you build the best secondary, arguably in football. That gives your pass rush a hand, big
How?
time.
But you
How?
essentially have 3 defensive tackles playing your line. You have no edge rush whatsoever.
That's what they have in real life, anyways. That's what
But
they
that's
do.
the
They
problem.
run. They
You
run.
guys-
How they run their defense is that guy, the Sam, Fackrell, and O'Shane Zimnes typically is down on the line, so it's really a fourth. It's basically a 4-3. It's like a 3-4, but basically a 4-3.
Yeah, but
Dexter
Leonard Williams
Lawrence
is not
plays
rushing
towards the
passer.
inside. Dalvin Tomlinson plays to the inside, and then Leonard Williams plays the other side.
Yeah, Leonard Williams isn't a pass rusher. He's an inside lineman. He's
No,
not
I understand
fast.
that. I'm not denying I didn't address pass rush, but I don't think pass rush was more of a need than secondary.
You overloaded the secondary.
Well,
and
damn
then,
it,
Yeah.
Jared.
You have
I
to think
give
they just
your
picked
D
up
minus.
DeAndre
That was
Baker,
horrible.
too. They just picked up DeAndre Baker.
and they just picked up Dexter Lawrence, who you traded away.
I'm not a fan of Dexter Lawrence. He did okay. He's still not that first round talent that they draft 16 overall. He's not, or whatever they picked him at. He's not living.
There
up
was
to
just
that.
way bigger needs than secondary. The secondary is probably
I
one of
get
the
that.
better units on
The
their
O
team.
lineman, the O lineman
agree.
part, I understand, but I don't. The only
They dumped Bradbury money. They took Breaker in the first round last year. Like I don't know. I wouldn't have traded my only first round pick away
that's
this
a
year
big
for
philosophy
Patrick
issue.
Peterson.
I don't like that philosophy of we just took that last year because if he didn't perform, he didn't perform. It wasn't a good
But
pick.
he wasn't bad though. That's
He
the
wasn't
thing.
worth the 28th overall pick they traded up to get. And I was a big DeAndre Baker guy. He was my number 2 corner last year, and he did not perform nearly what he
But
was
in
supposed
addition
to
to
until
that,
the very end of the season. I get
trading
that.
you're trading a top 5 pick away for a corner who's 30, a receiver who's third on your depth chart, and not addressing anything and getting it
Well,
returned
yeah, he's the
until
slot.
next year.
He'd be the slot receiver. That's why he'd be third on the depth chart.
And the pick you're going to get next year is probably going to be in the late teens, early 20s because the Cardinals are improved.
I mean, they still have a lot to work to do. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, so you're still getting a team first round anyways. So
I don't know. I just think that there was way better directions this draft could have
But
went.
who would be picked at 4, say, for edge rush? Who am I picking at 4?
You don't
Not
need to
knowing
take edge
that,
rush. You
not
take-
knowing
you take
that Chase
Tristan
Young
Wirfs.
is going to be there. Who am I picking at 4?
You're taking Tristan Wirfs, a bookend left tackle. That's going to
Okay,
be
we had that. I'm
offensive
talking
line for
about edge
10
rusher.
years.
You said edge
I
rusher.
said you did. Said you didn't address edge rusher or tackle, and there was 2 tackles worth a top 5 pick on the board, and you didn't take either of them.
Yeah, no, we were on that. I understand. I'm saying the pass rusher aspect. You were digging.
Well, there
me
was
for
no
it,
pass
but-
rusher, but you could have took a left tackle instead of trading for a 30-year-old corner.
Yeah, but then where would I address pass rusher after that, though? That's the thing. I didn't have another first-round pick. Caleb on Jason, gone. Yetur Gross-Matos would be gone. Like, there wasn't much option. The only other person I was confident in is Josh Uche and maybe one other pass rusher outside of the first round.
But basically,
Terrell Lewis,
traded
too,
it.
was another target.
If you're not high on Daniel Jones, then you draft another quarterback. Honestly.
Well, no, I'm not drafting a quarterback right now, especially not this class. Certainly not. I'm not confident in anybody but Joe Burrow in this class, and only because Tua's injured. If Tua wasn't injured, I'd be fully confident in him.
I'm just not trading my top 5 pick away for an
I'm not picking Justin Herbert in the top 10
next year.
Certainly not. I'm not picking Jordan Love anywhere in the first round. But,
Well,
no.
That's why you draft Tristan Wirfs or Jordan Wills and give him
Yeah, no, I can understand. That's the one avenue I agree with that could have been different. It really is all perspective and what you're doing with a team. Because remember, this is what we would do. Like I said, I'm not confident Daniel Jones is my QB going forward. I wouldn't have him on my team after a couple of years, so I'm not going to build a line around him. I'd rather get premier players who are young.
You could have even traded that pick away for an edge rusher.
There wasn't really any other – like, I was trying to trade down all week, and there wasn't really much – the Cardinals were really the only team that wanted to talk about a trade with the Giants for the most part. So that's why I went with that trade.
You could have took Chandler Jones from them.
I didn't want Chandler Jones. He's like 86, $22 million in cap.
He's younger than Patrick Peterson.
Who, Chandler Jones? They're
Yeah,
like
Chandler
the same
Jones
age almost.
Chandler Jones is 29.
But
And led
Patrick
the league in
Peterson's
sacks
not going
last
to
year.
demand $22 million next year. That's the thing.
Because it's not a premium position. Pass rush is, and Chandler Jones led the league in sacks last year.
But you can severely make up for pass rush with a very great secondary. That was part of why I did that instead.
I don't know. I think that's like a C.
You can build while masking other deficiencies, and then build those deficiencies and not have any deficiencies while still masking said deficiencies beforehand. But
all you're doing
we spent
really
way
is
too much time on mine, so we're gonna have to move. We'll probably go to the other host. We'll go to Alec. Just go team by team like I did. Same stuff. You had the AFC East.
Yeah, so we're gonna start with the number 1 on the Beast Coast.
I'm waiting to pick a team because if you're talking about the Jets, I'm not clicking them because that doesn't make sense.
You called it the Beast Coast when it's the worst division in football.
Now, you had some good drafts, though. Your Dolphins draft was ant to me, but I like the Jets and the Pats drafts after tentative.
So, first round, I have the Jets picking up Andrew Thomas. And on it kind of honestly just ended up on the board fell. If Jared has the top 10, he could kind of run through it, but I don't really remember how the board fell. But most of the tackle talent was gone.
Top 10 went Joe Burrow to the Bengals, Simmons to the Redskins, Lions to Okuda to the Lions, Chase Young to the Cardinals, Dolphins got Tua, Chargers got Wirfs, Jags traded up and got Derek Brown. Then the Cardinals drafted Wills, and Mekhi Becton got picked the pick before you. So the top three, those three widely regarded top guys went, and then it was just left with Andrew Thomas. I liked that pick. I know that.
Yeah. I figured if he was jumping out of the top 10, I'm going to grab him. So I picked him up, and then I got Bryce Hall with the 48th pick, which I thought was a great value pick, especially for a team like the Jets, because they really have no weapons at that position right now. Nothing at corner. I'm not saying Bryce Hall would be the immediate answer, especially with the history there, but it's worth the gamble for them. They don't really have anything else.
That was the only – did you have any other picks with the Jets?
Yeah, pick 68. They picked up Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Good pick. You stole him from me. I was going to pick him. I forgot what team, but I was going after him.
That's the
You stole
beginning
a
of
few
the
of my
third
picks.
round.
You stole a few of my picks.
Top of the third round.
I think I was going after him too in Seattle.
And then at the bottom of the third round, picked up Tega Wanago, another tackle. It's an experimental product, but I think it's worth the risk given the.
He has so much upside. Because you got to remember, he just really started playing football in America like 1 to 2 years ago. I don't know. You can look up his story. I don't know like everything on top of my head, but I know he's from I forgot what country he's from, but he came over recently and he just started playing football. So he's got a lot of upside. So what would you give your draft there? It was Andrew Thomas the first,
Bryce Hall,
DPJ, and then that was it.
And then Prince Tega Wanago.
And then Prince Tega. Okay. I like that draft a lot. You didn't have to move around. You got a good offensive lineman at 11. You got a potentially very, very good corner. No health concerns. He's probably top 3 to 5 in this class. Bryce Hall, you got him in a decent spot. Those injuries are just so concerning, so it's tough to really say with that. So that pick's up in the air right now. It's like with Antoine Winfield. If he stays healthy, great pick. If he doesn't, then no. But I like that pick a lot. DPJ was good where you got him. You got him late third. And then the last pick was compensatory, wasn't it? Prince Tega?
Yeah.
And you got I like the draft a lot. I'd give it an A-. The only reason I wouldn't give it a solid A or an A+, honestly, is because half the picks are betting on potential. That's the only reason. But other than that, great draft. Who else got grades for that?
I'll give it a B. I like it.
I give it a C+.
C+?
Yeah.
Jared, check your inbox too, Fruit Loop.
I got you. Hold on.
I like B+.
Yeah, I give it a B+. It was a solid draft.
It was definitely solid.
If everybody plays their potential, it could be an A.
So it gives them a target since they.
If you go into that group chat, Ryan, that we have with all of us,
it's in there. Okay.
you look for the 10 pictures of like a little notebook paper. That's the whole draft order I have there.
Oh, okay.
And you can just look through and pick your picks.
Thank you, Sweet Cakes.
Yep, you got it. So Dante, you said C+ for him?
Yeah, I gave him a C+.
I gave it an A-. Tyler?
I said a B+.
B+.
With the potential to be an
Ryan
A.
said B+.
Yeah, I said a B+.
If everybody
be an A
performs
if
how they
what?
should, that's an A.
So I think pretty much everybody's in consensus. It was a good draft. I mean, you didn't have to move around at all. You really didn't have to do anything but sit there and let guys fall to you, honestly. And that's what I really like about that draft.
The board fell to me. The board fell on me.
You even were confident enough to not oh no, that was a Dolphin, sorry, of that not trade with me on a big trade with the Cowboys. I remember that. But yeah, so I like the draft. A- for sure for me. If those two players, Bryce Hall and Prince Tega, actually live up to the potential they have, especially Bryce Hall, that could be an A to A+ draft for me.
It could be. I think I heard a lot of steals.
Bryce Hall was a first-round talent before he got hurt.
Andrew Thomas has and still is within a top 5 to 10 conversation.
Literally earlier today, I moved Andrew Thomas over Mekhi Becton on my board. Earlier today.
I think that was
He's
the
my
biggest
number
need.
3 tackle right now.
They need a tackle back.
And I moved Wirfs to number 1.
Day 1.
Before I had it Wills, Wirfs, Becton, Thomas. Now I have it Wirfs, Wills, Thomas, Becton. So
let me jump into my Dolphins draft. Let's
go for it. This is the one I was like,
I think it's my best one. Outside of the Patriots.
Pats is my favorite draft. You killed the Pats draft. Honestly,
Same thing as in real
that
life.
might be one of the best drafts
every
in the league period this year in our mock draft. Honestly, just like thinking about it.
100%.
Yeah, so save that one for the last. Go Dolphins.
Going Dolphins and then Bills. Bills is only 2 picks, so it'll be quick. Let's go to the Dolphins. I'm waiting for you to pull it up.
Oh, the team. Yeah, sorry about that. I was looking at something else. Just do Bills first since there's only 2 picks. So Buffalo Bills.
So second round, pick 54, Julian Okwara.
The edge rusher from Notre Dame.
And then pick 118, Cam Akers.
118, Cam Akers.
Honestly, I have no explanation for either of these picks. There's very few holes on this team.
Yeah, no, there really isn't. I mean,
I just picked the people I liked that were still available.
at face value, go through it. Like, even at corner, at first, you're like, Josh Norman's one of your corners. But then you have Levi Wallace.
You got Levi Wallace.
No, that's been my guy. Levi Wallace has been playing way above his expectations. He's a legitimate number 2 corner for them. They're decent at safety right now. Their linebackers aren't too bad. Like, everything they're good at right now, they're not, like, really, like, over the top at any real positions for the most part. But other than that, there's really not much need. I agree.
Clean your PC for a cleaner earth, bro.
I didn't really like the Cam Akers pick just because I don't think they need running back at all, honestly. And I'm not, like, huge on Cam Akers like we've discussed before. So we'll see. I mean,
What do you mean they
good
don't need running back? Who are they running backs?
Devin Singletary, TJ Yeldon.
TJ Yeldon.
Tywan Jones is okay,
Tywan
but he's not really going to talk.
Yeah, bro. Half of those running backs aren't even going to be in the league next year.
But I don't think Devin Singletary needs a counterpart all that much. That's all. And TJ Yeldon can fill that role for now for them.
Nah, you're bugging.
So you only had 2 picks, not much needs. So maybe I would have liked to see you package some next year's picks and maybe that second pick you had or that first pick you had and try to get another first-round pick. Since you don't have a lot of needs, but there's a lot of premier talent at the front end of this draft. So I think you might – but that's nitpicking really for me. So I'll give it – it's the same with the Redskins. I can't really give it in the A's just because it's only 2 picks. So I'll give it a B flat. B minus, actually, sorry. B minus. Wasn't bad. Didn't do anything like crazy. Questionable need picks, but I mean, they're good players though. They're good players. So
I can give it a C plus.
Dante's only giving you C pluses today.
Yeah, I only give C plus. I mean, because the fact of the matter, like he said, there's nothing to exploit here.
Yeah, I mean, it's
2
only 2 picks.
I mean, the team is stacked. I mean, shit. Look good. Shit.
Yeah.
There could have been a different direction at some point.
Tyler, what'd you have it at?
Can you hear me?
I couldn't hear you. I don't know if anybody could else.
Nah, I didn't hear shit.
Can you hear me now?
No, I can't hear you.
Hold on. Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. It's just really low.
It was just really low.
That's annoying. I don't know. I feel like they didn't need a running back at all.
Very low.
Try like unsyncing or unplugging whatever headphones you're using and then plugging them back in, I guess. I don't know. That might be what it is. But yeah, anyways, who else? Is Dennis? Dennis, what do you think? If Dennis is here still.
Yeah, still, man.
I haven't heard him in a while.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I said I feel like
Dennis is not here anymore.
He did the knock knock.
I feel like you
Nah,
could have picked
he's
anyone besides Cam Akers. They have Yeldon and Singletary.
Ryan, what'd you
All right.
think? I don't know if you were listening.
No,
I know you're
you
writing.
heard any of it.
Yeah, he's writing his stuff down. So
Oh yeah, I was writing my shit down, and then I was taking.
he only had 2 picks with the Bills. He got Cam Akers in the 3rd round.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Comp pick in the 3rd round.
Was it a comp pick? I think it was right before the comp picks, maybe.
118.
I don't give a damn. That was a good pick.
118 ain't even a pick, first of all.
TJ Yeldon sucks. Frank Gore's old as hell. You need
You got Motor Singletary, though.
I wouldn't give a damn. Can't make it great.
And who else did you get? You got an edge rusher. I forgot who you said.
Julian Aquara
Yeah, Julian Aquara from Notre Dame. And you didn't have any first-round picks.
at pick 54.
That's
Yeah.
a good fill-in pick, though. If he can stay healthy, that's a good pick.
Yeah. I probably would have took Josh Uche over him, but that's the only complaint with that pick.
No, hell no. I get it a good B. It's a good B.
I just think Josh Uche is the next step down for pass rushers under those main guys. Then it's Josh Uche. I don't know. I like him. Maybe I'm higher on him than most.
I don't because he sucks.
I think he puts on a little more weight. He could be a legit pass
Go to
rusher.
the Dolphins. Go to the Dolphins.
Yeah, Dolphins. This is where I was like, eh.
All right, Dolphins. Pick 5. I scooped up Tua.
Polarizing pick.
Yes.
Pick 18. I picked up Christian Fulton.
That's the pick I didn't like. That's
I like
the pick I did not like. You got what's it called? Xavier Howard, and you just brought in Byron Jones.
But yeah,
There's no need. There's no need to go first round for Christian Fulton.
I
Great
like
player, second
like
corner, but there's no need.
hey, I like that because you got Bryce McCain or whatever the food name is playing safety. You got Eric Rowe at strong safety. You just got rid of Rashad Jones. You need a nickel. That's a good pick. That's a good pick.
I would say you should have won safety for sure. That's what I was going to say. You should have won safety for sure.
You got 2 corners at safety right now.
But you also got to think about it, though. You have those 2 guys, and this is the Dolphins we're talking about. They have a lot of needs. You're going to spend that second first-round pick on Christian Fulton?
Yes, he got first-round talent. Long as if he can.
No, I agree. He's my second corner. I'm super high on him, obviously. But
At 18, though, you have to think that's 18.
Yeah. Like, you didn't pick him at number 10 or nothing. You picked him at
No,
18.
it's 18.
But you have all those needs. You have all those
half of
needs.
the first
Corner's
round.
one of the top positions in this draft where you can get one in the second round. You have 2 second-round picks. Why not get you can get Jeff Gladney in the second, who's a better slot corner.
Because I'm about to tell you who I picked up in the second round.
No, I know.
Well, at the end of the first round, I picked up J.K. Dobbins, pick 26.
I liked that pick.
JK all day.
Number 2 running back on my board. Good pick.
And then pick 39, I scooped up Grant Delpit.
Yeah.
Which is
Obviously, I don't like that pick because I don't like Grant Delpit. So I don't know.
Jared, bias ass.
I'm just I got to grade it by my own. I can't go off of like
Pick
ESPN and who people like. If I don't like the
56.
player, I can't like the pick.
Pick 56, I pick up Neville Gallimore.
Good pick. Good value.
Pick 70, I scoop up Marlon Davidson.
Another good. Yeah. I mean, this was the Dolphins. So
Excuse me.
you go to the Dolphins and you look. So you need the needs for the Dolphins I saw were
Jesus
you
Christ.
could maybe use another receiver. I think Preston Williams is the guy they're confident in as a number 2 receiver.
Quarterback.
But they do need a slot. They obviously need quarterback. They need Dieter's okay at right guard, but he's not going to be the long-term answer. Ted Karras is okay. They just got him. He'll work at center for now. Eric Flowers is actually good now that he plays guard and not tackle. But you need both tackles. You got Jesse Davis and Julian Davenport. Quarterback, you need a running back. You address that. D-line, I didn't think was something you needed to address, especially not twice for the most part. I think you were pretty all right at D-line. And then the Christian Fulton corner pick was I don't see picking him with the linebackers, the O-line, and you got the quarterback, but you still – I don't know. I don't like it with what you need at safety, what you need at linebacker, what you needed at running back, and what you needed at receiver.
So
and the whole line you pretty much need, huh?
You feel like he should have picked that safety then, because it's
not Grant Delpit. I know that.
You gonna go with Xavier McKinney?
I would have waited on safety as well. I would have the 2 second-round picks for him. I would have used on corner and safety.
So where would you have gone though? You would have went Jeremy Chin or what?
Well, you need offensive line.
Okay.
Which, if I go back to the board correctly, the only one really left that was like in that tier was the guy who got picked right after by the Raiders, Josh Jones. I would have went Josh Jones over Christian Fulton all day.
No, I'd have put Austin Jackson over him.
You can think about the receivers that are there. They do need another receiver. They're not pressed for it. But if you have
Apple Wilson and Jeremy Grant, so I mean,
okay,
little slot receiver.
If it was like a thinner corner class, it would be I'd have probably different feelings about it. But there's so many good corners out there, especially if you're like you were saying, because obviously this person is going to be the slot corner. Christian Fulton, he could play slot corner, but he's an outside corner. believe it or not. Even though he's not like the biggest guy, he's an outside corner 100%.
So then you can flip flop him. You can
Even at
flip-flop him
18,
over.
I might have picked, if I'm picking just for a slot corner, I'm probably picking Jeff Gladney over Christian Fulton.
Oh bullshit!
Absolutely.
Man, stop. I like Jeff Gladney. Don't get me wrong, but if you can keep Christian Fulton's temperament up, he's top. He's a first round talent. Period.
Oh, I loved Christian Fulton. Trust me,
Damn it,
preaching to the
stop
choir.
saying you don't like him.
I'm a huge fan of Christian Fulton. It's just not a need position for them at the moment, and I feel like for that specific role, because you're talking specific corner position, Jeff Gladney is a better inside corner than Christian Fulton, in my opinion.
But I want my corner. If I'm gonna throw him inside at nickel, I want him to be back big and he can run. So
Yeah, no, I hear you.
yeah,
I mean,
I like it.
I mean,
Jeff Gladney just came on like towards the end of the year.
like I said, the player is still a good pick. It's just the position. I didn't feel
And
that early.
I'm gonna tell you why I don't like Jeff Gladney with the Dolphins, because Jeff Gladney is also an outside corner, and they played a lot of roles. So they did a lot of cover 3, and it was a lot of roles. So he got to gamble on a lot of plays. They didn't run too much man at TCU.
And also, I believe A.J. McKinney was still on the board as well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, A.J. McKinney, 29. A guy I'm not higher on as most people, but I probably would have picked him over Christian Fulton. What would you grade it, Alec, your own draft? Your mic's muted, by the way, too. I don't know. I think he's lost.
I give it an A. Fuck it. I liked it. Good draft.
You there, Alec? I see you looking. You're
Oh,
muted.
Okay, yeah.
Unmute yourself. We got to hear the verdict on your own draft. There you go.
This draft?
Yeah, Dolphins. So what do you
Oh, it's
give
the
it?
best draft of all time.
Goddamn right. That was an A.
It wasn't even your best draft, so how's it the best draft of all time?
Best draft of all time.
Fucking
It
A.
wasn't even your best out of 4.
It was an A.
No.
That Pats draft was dirty, man. I'm wanting to hear this, so grade so we can hear this, because I want to hear this Pats draft. So what do you give it?
A+.
Serious score. A+?
Ooh.
Now you're wild.
I had Taylor, Fulton, Dobbins, Delpit, Gallimore, and Marlon Davidson.
That's first round talents. That's an A. Fuck that.
That's all first round talents.
That's A's. Fuck that. I'm giving it a big A.
I hate. Hold on.
A for me.
Yo, hold on. I
Now
had
where do
6.
Marlon
I had 6.
Davidson and Neville Gallimore play in this defense though? That's my problem.
Charles Harris isn't paying down.
Neither of them are starting over Davin Godchaux right
I
now.
had 6 top 100 picks. All 6 were first round talents.
That's a fact, Jack. I give you a medal. That's a fact. Jerry's just eating.
But where are you putting Gallimore and Davidson though on the D line? I don't
Find a way. You find a way to put them in there.
Because they're not. Neither of them are starting over Davin Godchaux at D tackle, at nose tackle. No chance.
But you got to remember, Marlon Davidson played end at Auburn as well.
And like the kind of narrative that was being thrown out earlier, you just drafted Christian Wilkins in the first round last year, in the middle of the first round. You just drafted him in the first round last year. But you see what I'm saying? That I hate that narrative. Because Christian Wilkins
No, because
decent.
Taco Charlton as a backup, really? That's.
Yeah.
Mm,
That was a first round pick too.
yeah, I know, but he hasn't panned out well.
No, he's not good.
I'll
I'll take Marlon Davidson over him.
I think
I would have
Marlon
at least
Davidson would
taken-
be a good rotational player.
I would have took ends, if anything, over one of those guys, but I don't think taking 2 nose tackles, though, that's when nose tackles their best defensive line position. I don't know. Those
Is
are
it,
the
though?
other picks I loved. I love J.K. Dobbins. Tua was a very good pick. It really is another do or die pick where you don't know yet until they prove their health. And what was the 5th pick? Oh, no, that was it. That was Fulton, Dobbins, Tua, and the 2 linemen. Okay. I'll go C+. It was a lot of talent, not very much need hitting on a need-hungry team. So that's why I didn't go crazy high with it. But I'll give it a C+. Still not a bad grade. It's not a bad draft. It's just a lot of different avenues and some players that weren't needed to be drafted. That's just my opinion. Though.
It was all splash
Giants
picks.
draft higher than that.
It was definitely splash picks. I see that. And that's the problem that works against the draft grade is the fact that you had all these top picks that could have done so much with. You got great players, but there was so much more that could have been done with them, I feel like. So what'd you go with it again? You went A?
I go with a B plus.
I'm going with A. Fuck that. That was good.
A, B plus. I had a C plus. Tyler,
Right.
what did you say it was?
I had an A.
A. All right. So it was about B plus A average. So good overall. Dennis is in nowhere's land. So
Pats. Go to Pats.
the Pats. This was my favorite Alec draft right here. So you go to the Pats. All right, go for it.
All right, so at pick number 23, I have the New England Patriots picking up Justin Herbert. Pick 87 in the late second round, the Patriots picking up Hunter Bryant. Pick 9.
That was your second round pick?
Was it or third?
No, that was one of your last picks, I think.
Hunter Bryant was second round.
I don't think so.
No, third round. He was third round. Top of the
Yeah, I
first.
was about to say he was not your second pick. No way.
So Hunter Bryant. Pick 98, Sadiq Charles. Pick 100, Devin Duvernay.
I'm just verifying all your picks.
So they
I thought
picked
you
up-
had another pick in there.
They picked up a quarterback in Justin Herbert
Yeah.
and Hunter Bryant. Offensive lineman. I think he'll play left tackle or left guard in the NFL. Sadiq Charles out of LSU. And then Devin Duvernay, one of the top wide receivers in the draft, had a comp pick in the third round.
The guy who's picking up steam in real time.
He might be
Picking
a
up
first
steam
round
apparently
pick.
with GMs.
He might be a first round pick.
No, he's not going to be a first, but
Could be.
he's picking up like late second, early third steam right now. No, I really like that draft. Even though it's been discussed, I'm not a huge Justin Herbert guy. He has potential. He has certain things he could be really good with. So I think getting him at the position they got him was pretty good compared to where he's going to go in real life and where most people have him. Late 20s, pretty good. Pretty good pick there, despite me not being huge on the player himself. But it's worth a chance. Definitely worth a chance with a coach like Bill Belichick and a team like the Patriots at quarterback. It's definitely worth a chance. The second round pick was – who'd you say again?
Hunter Bryant.
Oh,
Hunter Bryant.
Third.
No, that was the third. Yeah, who was the second then? Or that was the first pick you had since Justin Herbert, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Hunter Bryant, I was okay with that. I don't remember the exact tight ends that were off the board, but I don't have Hunter Bryant in my top 50 players. I don't have him in my top 3 tight ends. I would have took Adam Troutman over him for sure. I would have took the other Harrison Bryant over him. I think Cole Kmet might have still been on the board too, actually.
Damn lie.
I don't mind going after tight end, but I didn't really like the player that was picked there, but that's just my opinion,
He's
of
not
course.
he's not a typical pick, but he's a good tight end.
Yeah, I just think when you have Adam Troutman and Harrison Bryant on the board, though, I would have definitely went one of them. Or even Cole Kmet. But I don't know if Cole Kmet was exactly there. I don't think he was. But I don't remember really – oh, yeah, no, Cole Kmet was gone. He was the only tight end gone. Okay. He went to the Bears at 43. Other than that, that was the only pick I kind of had a little bit of a gripe with. Absolutely love Devin Duvernay that was probably your best pick was Devin Duvernay at 103, I think. This is a guy who's number 3 overall receivers on my board, and you got him with a compensatory in the third. Fantastic. You stole him from me. I was going to try and trade up to one of those last compensatories to get him, but you had taken him, and I'm like, you know what? It's over. Can't do it. So I love that pick. All the other picks were good. The lowest one, like I said, was that Hunter Bryant. Still not a bad pick. He's still a good tight end. I didn't think he was second or first best tight end on the board at that time. I give the draft an A, flat out. Patriots, not many needs. Every player they got fills a need. They're all at least good. I think Devin Duvernay was a huge sleeper pick, one of the best sleeper picks in the draft that we had. Yeah, so I'm going to go A flat out with that draft. The Patriots.
B plus. It was a good draft.
B plus.
B.
Yeah.
So it's really like B plus, pretty much average, which is good.
Yeah. It was a good draft.
So you had 4 overall good drafts, at least. Consensus,
think
good
so.
drafts. Some people are higher, some people are lower on some of them, but good drafts. I didn't see any drafts you had that were bad. So,
I'll
who
go
would
next.
be Tyler? All right.
Yeah.
He had the AFC West.
So with the Chargers, I'll start because
Chargers.
they had the first pick of all of them. They don't really have many holes, honestly. At 6, I addressed probably their biggest hole with left tackle and got Tristan Wirfs, bookend left tackle, like 10-year starter. He's going to protect whoever our quarterback of the future will end up being because we'll
Yep,
switch
great
Bulaga to right tackle. And then, like you can see right there, our line is not bad anymore. 37, I got Jordan Love. He fell all the way down, and it was just too good to pass up there.
It's the same thing with like Herbert. I'm not high on him, but it's a good pick to just throw a dart at the board with pretty much.
Would I take him in the first? Hell no. But if
No.
you're going to give him to me in the second round, hell yeah. He's raw. Let him sit behind Tyrod Taylor for a year and
Mm-hmm.
just go for it.
Starting. He ain't sitting shit. I ain't sitting no starting no Tyrod Taylor. Yeah.
The Chargers are high on Tyrod, so he's going to play this year.
That motherfucker going to work at a grocery store. I ain't
Oh, I'm not high on him either. I hate him. But I was mad the day we signed him. You can ask Jared. I bugged out.
Yeah, he's horrible.
Yeah. I think he can get the job done as good as a handful of QBs that are starting right now in the league, though.
Are you
I think
fucking serious, Jared?
I think he'll get us a nice 6-10 record and give us a nice draft pick for next year.
What? I think he could do better than that, man.
You got to remember, alone he has legs, and he likes to run too.
And
So
he's
he's not one of those QBs who doesn't like to run. He can make that work.
The
I think
6-10 is wishful thinking.
Hey, if that's the case, then bring Cal Orton back. Fuck it.
And regardless
Right.
who the QB is, you still have a pretty much playoff roster all the way through after quarterback.
Yeah, I was
We've seen Tyrod Taylor do decent things with worse teams. So.
Yeah, in preseason. Fuck.
Yeah. Once I got to my third round pick, I started looking on the defensive side, and I was like, we don't have many holes. We have Ingram and Bosa and Linval Joseph, who's a solid middle pick. We got Justin Jones and Tiller on the inside. We picked up Vigil at linebacker.
Best secondary in football.
Got the best secondary in football with Chris Harris,
Best
Casey
safety combo
Hayward.
in the league.
Casey Hayward, Chris Harris, Desmond King, Nasir Adderley, and Adrian Phillips at free, and Derwin James at strong. Like, there's not many holes in this team. But when I saw Tyler Bidash sitting there at 71, that's a good player. Especially we got Mike Pounce. He was a little older. I think he'll end up switching out to guard, and then Bidash would be our starting center day one. Then our line is Bulaga, Wirfs, Trey Turner, Pouncey, Bidash. That is a good line. They didn't have many holes. I think I hit pretty good on all the picks that we needed.
That was all your picks?
Yeah, the Chargers only have 3 picks.
All right, so what do you give your grade on that?
I mean, just for filling needs, B+. If Jordan Love can turn into a franchise quarterback, it'll be an A.
Go B+.
Yeah, I'm going B+ as well.
B+.
It was just a solid draft. We didn't need much. We just needed to fill 3 holes, which I think that draft fills perfectly right there.
I'm going A, and it's the best draft I've heard so far out of all of us, to be honest with you.
Oh, wow.
You're talking about a team that really has no holes. A few holes, obviously, like every team, but really nothing besides maybe O-line and linebacker at most. But they have some good young linebackers.
And I
You went
filled the
ahead.
whole
You
line.
didn't buy into we need the quarterback this exact second. You knew you had another pick coming up early in the second. You waited. You got the best lineman in the draft, in my opinion. So you didn't cave in. That gave me a lot of points there for your draft for sure, is not caving on the quarterback. And then you still end up getting that experimental quarterback that you would have gotten anyways if you didn't pick Justin Herbert. So it was one of the 2 guys you had to decide between. You didn't cave on him, still got one of them in the second round, and then you got a sleeper interior lineman with Tyler Biadasz. And that's really the only holes you need are O-line. You got 2 of them that can start day one for that team, and you still got an experimental quarterback that could be good. And it could be Tyrod's replacement, and you could have still got the quarterback and filled every need in your team. So perfect.
Yeah, Love's been
Very
getting a
good
lot of
draft
Pat
for me.
Mahomes. They've been getting a lot of Patrick Mahomes comparisons with Love.
Now,
He's not-
I would have tried to trade down a few spots with 6, but that's the only thing I can nitpick about it. It's just
Tristan
so you
Wirfs-
can get another
Tristan
maybe
Wirfs
second
is my
round pick.
number 1 guy.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like enough to where you're at least getting one of the 4 big tackles, but you're still getting another draft pick. You know, but
See,
that's
my
just
thing is-
nitpicking. It's still an A draft for me all the way.
See, my thing is I don't want any of those other tackles. I wanted Wirfs. He's the only tackle.
Yeah, no, I get that. Absolutely. It's
So-
not. I'm not saying you shouldn't have picked him.
I didn't want to risk trading down and losing Wirfs.
In a perfect ideal world, I would have tried to get depending on the trade, of course, too. It would have had to been a team only a couple picks behind. So
Yeah, which
great
I mean,
draft. Great draft.
Yeah. So I'm happy with that draft. Then I'll do the Raiders now. Raiders again. They're not a terrible roster. They've done a lot to rebuild themselves up. They had 4 picks, but they are spread out a decent amount.
Mhm.
At 12, I went CeeDee Lamb. I think he's more consistent than Jerry Jeudy. I think he doesn't disappear as much, and I think he's just as talented. It's 1A and 1B with those two, and you can debate either one. And they need a wide receiver on this team. They have Nelson Aguilar, whose hands don't exist. Zay Jones is unproven. Tyrell is more of a slot guy. They don't have that number one that can just take over a game, which I think CeeDee Lamb could become for them. That was at 12. The Raiders didn't pick again until 80, which I took Jacob Eason. I just took Eason just as a best player available type of thing. And I'm high on Eason. I like Eason. I think he's a good quarterback. And I'm not high on Mariota. Carr is hit or miss.
Yeah, you never been high on him. So
Never.
I knew he was
Never
not in the
been
plans
high
for
on
your mock draft unless you were trading him.
Yeah, Mariota
I'm interested why you didn't use him as a trade chip.
who?
Right. Mariota.
I tried to make some moves, but I don't know. I don't think they're going to trade Mariota because they just got him. I think Carr would get traded before Mariota would.
Yeah, no, I'm in real life for sure. I just thought you would. But I see what you're saying though, because I tried to not deviate too much from like that franchise itself.
Yeah.
So like they just signed Mariota, so obviously they're not going to trade him away. But I would, or you would, obviously.
Yeah, and I mean a third round flyer at 80 overall on Eason isn't a bad pick. It's just he could be good. He was good at Georgia before he went to Washington, and Washington he was good. And then they picked right after at 81. I took Kenny Robinson. He's a DB. He went to the XFL for a year, played really well there. I think he has a lot of potential. He's a good player in the secondary. You can kind of slide him in any spot. He's been generating a lot of buzz as well. And then 91, I took Ben Bredesen just as depth for the line. You can never have too many good guards. I think Bredesen will be a plug and play. He can also play tackle. He played there for Michigan. He could slot in at right tackle if needed, and then Trent Brown could go to left tackle because I'm that high on Colton Miller. Raiders draft was like a C+ for me. The only real standout was CeeDee Lamb. They don't have much in form of assets early on in the draft, and their roster's already good. They don't need too much. They needed a weapon, really.
Yeah, and you got a line. You got Josh Jones in the first two.
Josh Jones.
Oh yeah, Josh.
Did
Jones.
you say Josh Jones?
No, I forgot to write him down.
Oh yeah, that was that second Raiders pick. You got Josh Jones. I like that.
Yeah. So yeah, Josh Jones at linebacker. I forgot about him.
That's why you went Bredesen. You weren't having him as a tackle thing. He was like a Richie Incognito replacement, pretty much.
Right. Yeah. So
I liked the draft. I gave it a B+. I think
I gave it a C+.
The only pick I was like, I understood the pick. I can't really argue like that it's a bad pick, but I personally would have never took CeeDee Lamb over Jerry Jeudy. But you obviously are lower on Jerry Jeudy, so I can't really like. It's hard to really say between like so many people are high on CeeDee Lamb, so it's hard to be down on him. It just switches with everybody, so I can't really hold that too much against you.
Well, the issue with the Raiders picks too was that like at the time of picking, there was not many options that were like good for their needs, so it was kind of just throw darts at the best players available. And
yeah, no, I mean, for me, it's just CeeDee Lamb's the fourth receiver on my board, and Jerry Jeudy, my number one receiver, is there. For my personal board, that's the one big thing I would have done different.
Right.
Other than that, I think all the picks were solid. Josh Jones was a good pick. You had the run on tackles right after you picked right after you had that first pick. There was right when you had it, actually, all 4 tackles were already gone.
Yeah, I know that people were going to jump.
The tackles ran off the board too fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people wanted Jones.
Was that
so-
Dennis? Is Dennis back?
No, I was here.
Oh,
I didn't know I was on mute all that damn time.
really?
Oh, yeah.
I'm over here talking shit. I'm like, why ain't nobody hearing me?
Anything you want to say now that you can be heard that you said and we didn't hear?
Nah.
Want to catch us up on?
I
Catch us up what he shit
I think the
talking.
Raiders had a pretty good pick. I get them a B.
So
Yeah, I mean, I
consensus is like
liked those lineman picks. Those lineman picks were very good. I like Ben Bredesen as a sleeper guard. I think he's good. He's not like in my top 50 or my
He needs
top
work.
maybe. Yeah,
if he can
I
develop
mean-
into something really good.
I have him kind of right after like Biadash, who's my fourth interior lineman, I believe, or fifth
Yeah.
rather. He's my fifth, so I have him like 6 to 8 area. Ben Bredesen.
Well, the good part about Bredesen is he can slide him in at any part of the line but center. That's why he's good.
Yeah,
So then after that, I took the Broncos. At 15, I took C.J. Henderson. The Broncos just lost Chris Harris.
that's a pick I've seen mocked a few times in on the big mocks.
Yeah, I mean, C.J. Henderson is a beast. That dude.
Yeah,
can
but a lot of people got the Broncos taking a wide receiver.
Yep, it's
Well-
pretty much between.
They actually got him moving up. They talking about the Broncos are moving up to 10.
Yeah, they want Judy.
I'm trying to think of whose mock. It was one of the popular mocks lately. They had him getting this exact pick. I think it was Peter Schrager. I don't know. Whatever. But anyways, continue. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, again, if this is one of those teams that if you look at, obviously, if you want to slide down to corner, you can see they needed help there.
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Excuse me.
They got Bouye, who's not bad, but Bryce Callahan's okay.
The problem with Bowie is I have to see him out of Jacksonville. I gotta
Gotta
see him out of
out of
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville.
You seen him with the
Right,
Texans.
right.
Oh, that was good though. That was on his come up. You don't know. He's older now.
No, man, you with the old shit. They at the 23, they old to you.
If you look at his Jags career, he's on a decline. That's all I can
they
go
got
off of
1
right
year
now.
out of college. After that, they old. They old.
Yeah, fucking man.
But yeah,
Once you look at Bouye and then look after him, they have a bunch of just garbage. Honestly.
yeah, Isaac Yiadom, who had high hopes for them, never did anything so far.
Yeah, like nobody on that team is worth playing. So I think Henderson slots right in there as a starting day one corner, and he's just a lockdown. He's good.
Yeah, it's crazy because I liked their secondary going into last year. It was good. Bryce Callahan was a lot worse than I thought he would play. He played very well the 2 years before that. So I do think corner's a big need for them.
Yeah. And then, as Dennis said, they needed a receiver. And at 46, I took Henry Ruggs.
Yeah, that's based on general consensus of the world and pretty much here probably, that's a great steal.
Yeah, Henry Ruggs is a first-round talent. That dude's a baller.
Like I said, I'm not higher on him, so that's just me, though. Just
He
me.
balls out, man. He kills it. When I saw him sitting there at 46, there was no way I was passing on him,
No, yeah, I don't blame you.
especially with the need at receiver that they have. Then at 77, I took Nick Coe, the DN from Bama. Or not Bama, Auburn. He's solid. You can plug him in as a sub D lineman.
He can move around the D-line, too. He's versatile.
Yeah, he'll be all right. I don't worry about him. 83, I took Thaddeus Moss. I have him as a tight end / receiver because I think he could do a little bit of both. He's kind of like a Devin Funchess.
Yeah, if he could shed weight and get a little bit faster from it, he can play a little receiver.
And
but
he's got the
he's
genetics.
too big. He's too big right now.
Yeah, I think he could do it, though. I think he'll fit in good. And then at 95, I took Khalil Hudson, who's just a defensive player. He can play anywhere on the defense in the linebacker and secondary spot. At 95, he's a good pick. I think he's very talented. He's smart, instinctual. He hits. He does everything you really want out of somebody at like a sub linebacker, nickel corner type of position.
All right, that was all your picks?
Yeah, that was the last of the picks. I
So what do you think?
I would give it like a B+ just from the Ruggs in the second. Henderson in the first is a hit.
Yeah, I'd give it a B+ too.
Now, I'm going to keep it in the B still. Like I've said, keep saying my own board, my own players. Most of those players I'm pretty low on, to be honest. Nick Coe is okay. that's one of the guys that's like I'm not like lower or higher on than anybody else, but I don't see really much of a need at D-line at all. Like if you look at it right in front of you too. Shelby Harris he's been doing okay. He's replaceable, but not really someone you have to worry about, especially when you have Draymond Jones behind him and DeMarcus Walker. And DeMarcus Walker is a guy I was always high on out of Florida State, and he's finally coming into his own.
It was kind of just a best available pick for him right there.
Yeah, no, it's still a late pick. That's why I wouldn't really go too much. Like, it's just putting depth, really. That's what it is.
Exactly.
It's a late depth pick, so I don't mind it. CJ Henderson, I can't like really knock you for the pick because he's like it's like CeeDee Lamb again. I'm not super high on CJ Henderson. I think he's a very good corner, but he's like 4th on my board, I think. But that's just me. I'm not in the consensus at all with that or CeeDee Lamb, so I'm not really going to ding you too much for those. The other guys, who are they again? Sorry, I know they're just guys.
Khaleke Hudson.
Khaleke Hudson was the one pick I liked for here. That like all around like good value, good pick, and good on my personal board. I like that. He's a good linebacker who can play safety. And it was him and who else?
Thaddeus Moss.
Thaddeus Moss. That was a good pick. He can't block. Like he's aggressive, but he can't block at all. It's very weird. He's super aggressive when he blocks. But
I think he's like a Devin Funchess.
Yeah, I mean he's. Like I said, I don't think he would kick out to receiver well just because he's so big right now and, like, he's not really fast. But I think if he lost a good amount of weight, he might be at least fast enough to be like an Eric Decker kind of receiver. But they do need a tight end. I mean, no, they don't. No, that was my one gripe with that pick is they have Jake Butt and Noah Fant. And Jeff Howerman and Troy Fumagalli. I didn't see going tight end there. Good player. But I didn't see going there in this draft. I don't know. I mean, Troy Fumagalli's not really that healthy. We know Jake Butt's not healthy, but Jeff Howerman's been okay as a second tight end. And Noah Fant was hit or miss last year, but he was a rookie. So his highs were high and his lows were low. But
I think you could move Hireman or Fumagalli into fullback, honestly.
So it's not a terrible pick for me. It's just not really much of a need.
He's more of a – I took him as a wide receiver hopeful more than a tight end.
Yeah, no, yeah. You can kick him in line. Yeah.
Exactly. So
I just didn't think it's going to be tough for him to pass what I think Noah Fant can be.
Yeah.
So I don't know. They do run a lot of two tight ends. Jeff Howerman's hit or miss. So it's not a terrible pick. I didn't think it was much of a need in this draft compared to some other positions, but yeah, so I'm going to go B- just because of personal preference. So I have to ding points just because I have to go by my board with my grade. But I think if you're going off like normal mock drafts and consensus, it's a good draft for what the consensus is on a lot of these players.
Yeah, that's a lot of you either high or not on these guys.
Yeah.
And then with the Chiefs, I only had 3 picks. 32nd, I got AJ Epinesa, D-end out of Iowa. I mean, a lot of people halfway through the year were talking about him as a top 10 pick. Epinesa is a really good player.
Mm-hmm.
What team we on now?
The Chiefs.
Chiefs.
And if you look at them, I mean, Alex Okafor is okay. Breland Speaks is okay.
And they just re-signed Devaney, just reconstructed his contract.
So, I mean, AJ Epinesa could slide right in there and start day one. He's a good dude. 63, I took Logan Stenberg, guard from Kentucky. I mean, again, they don't have a lot of holes, and I think Stenberg's a good project guard, and I think he could eventually be their starter at right guard. And then just 96, I took the best guy I saw there, which was LaMichael Pirine, running back out of Florida. He's just a weapon for them. No such thing as too many weapons over there for them.
Yeah.
They got 4 quarterbacks on their roster?
Right. They just signed Jordan Tamey ain't that dude from XFL?
He was in the XFL, yeah. He was the one from Ole Miss the year before.
Oh, okay, all right. He played for St. Louis, I think.
Yeah, he played for the Battlehawks.
Chad Henne still in the NFL.
And then Kyle Shermer is Pat Shermer's son from Vanderbilt, I believe.
Vanderbilt.
Let me ask you this question before y'all start. So you telling me that quarterback was throwing the ball to A.J. Brown and DK Metcalf?
I think so.
And his ass ain't get picked up by nobody?
Yeah, because their defense was shitty, bro, and they had a horrible.
Jordan
year.
Tayama? I mean, he's not.
Yeah, they had a shitty year in the SEC that year. I remember.
Oh yeah, they've been terrible lately.
Yeah.
They're about to be on the come up now though.
Because A.J. Brown was about to get ready to leave. He was about to. I think he had just came in, and then DK Metcalf was getting ready to come out. So they had
Shea Patterson was
and
there.
they had what's his name at the slot.
Well, that's because they got hammered with the sanctions.
It wasn't even just those two.
So a lot of people left. Shea Patterson had just transferred.
Was that Quincy Adebayo?
They got 6.
I'm trying to think of the slot. They had a good slot receiver.
Am I tripping or do they got 6 running backs?
Who
They do. They got 6 running backs.
They got 6 running backs. They got Darrell Williams, Damian Williams,
Mike Weber,
Mike Weber. Goddamn LaShawn McCoy.
Elijah McCoy.
Yeah.
DeAndre Washington, who's been hit the exact same way by Jamal Adams at 2 different levels of football.
Yeah, right.
Very interesting. Have you ever seen that one of the 2 Jamal Adams hits on the running back screen of DeAndre Washington, one on the Raiders, one on Texas Tech? Same exact tackle, same hit.
Yeah.
I just don't think they have any Damian Williams is good, but after that, Mike Weber's unproven. Wes McGuire's not good.
So what were the picks and the numbers of the picks again?
Epinesa at 32.
Yep.
Logan Stenberg at 63.
Yep.
And then LaMichael Pirine at 96.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see – my biggest gripe is not going corner at all in this draft. Very interesting.
There was just no corners that were, worth a pick at the spots I was picking.
Let me see.
Because I wasn't going to take a corner.
63 was your next pick, right? 63.
Yeah.
Logan Stenberg.
And I think they need a guard. It was hard. They didn't have a good spot to draft him because they won the Super Bowl. So
I would have went. I think Noah Igbenogany was still on the board. Who else is still on the board? There's definitely a few other corners.
Yeah.
But either way, I would have definitely went corner. That would have been the pick, Noah Igbenogany. I think it's just a huge need for them right now. They just lost Kendall Fuller, which was huge for them. Bashard Breeland actually played very well last year, surprisingly.
He played like a dog last year.
He was
I was surprised at that.
Him and Tyrann Mathieu on defense in the Super Bowl too.
Oh my God, I was really surprised that he played.
Yeah.
He played up to it.
But even maybe first round, but I can't knock you that much because it's actually pretty funny. I had AJ Epinesa in my first mock draft to that exact pick. But then I moved them up 1 pick to the 49ers in my mock draft, and that's the only reason he's not going there in my mock draft. So I love that pick. I think he fits perfect. You look at the team, they got 1 need at D-line. It's that lefty end. Alex Okafor out. Was Yetur Gross? That would have been the only player I was thinking. That was my only concern with that pick, but yeah, he was going a few more picks. Okay, so yeah, AJ Epinesa fits right in. He played. That's where he played in college on that left side. You put him with Chris Jones, Derek Nottie, Frank Clark. That's a beautiful D-line group. They really don't have much need, so I don't mind them going there too because AJ Epinesa is a very good player. They really don't need much of anything else except maybe O-line depth because 2 of their tackles are old for sure.
And their guards are.
I like Duvernay Tardif. Nick Allegretti's all right he's a young guy. And Austin Reeder's okay at center, but they could definitely use some improvement there.
That was kind of more why I went with Stenberg than anything.
Yeah, no, that's why I like the Stenberg pick. I like all the picks. It's hard to not take a corner at some point in this draft for me, but it's also hard when you don't have the second round, second round pick, pretty much. You just had it at the very end.
I also didn't realize they had 6 running backs on their roster when I took Pirine.
Yeah, that was at the end of the draft too. I mean, there wasn't much left anyways. What pick was Pirine? He was compensatory, wasn't he?
96.
96. Yeah, Michael Pirine. Yeah.
But he'll do it all back. I feel like he can unseat all of them.
You could have
Yeah.
got another interior lineman though.
Well, but I mean, you really don't need no lineman with Pat Mahomes. Hell, he get rid of the damn ball. You don't even hold on to the ball.
Right.
Yeah, but imagine teaming up Stenberg and getting another line and completing that O line, and they have an older O line too. You got to remember, Mitchell Schwartz is old and Eric Fisher's old.
Fisher.
Oh god.
Duvernay Tardif's kind of old, but he's like I think he's like 29, 28.
So
The
I
other
think
two
he's
are up
20.
there.
I think he's 28.
How old are you?
So either way, you need depth. Yeah, I'll give it a B, solid B.
Yeah, I'll go solid B.
No, a B plus because I just really like the AJ Epinesa pick.
I'm just gonna go
I'll go B
a
plus.
solid B.
I was gonna give myself a B plus for that. I feel like I had the best like overall draft, like position wise.
Oh, disrespectful.
Like of every like all 4 teams, I think I hit on most of the needs.
It wasn't that damn hard, Tyler, on that damn thing.
I think that Chargers draft was bar none the best.
Yeah, it was.
Best with only 3
It's
picks.
tied with what was it, Alex Pats for me? I think
Tired.
for best draft so far out of A. The Chargers. All right, so who's next? Dante?
All right. Let's slide on over to Arizona.
Wonder if Alec fell asleep.
Oh, do that damn
Yeah.
round. You traded 79 picks for.
Alex said he had to go. He has work in the morning.
No.
You see it? He got work.
I'm here.
Got you. All right, cool. So anyways, so you're doing 49ers first?
No, I'm doing Arizona first.
Oh, I thought you said
Oh.
it was on me. My bad. I wait.
Go Arizona first.
Yeah.
Booyah.
All right, you're good. Good.
So as you know, I got the 4th pick from the Giants, in which we chose Chase Young,
Yep, fell to you at 4.
which was actually pretty
Really, I
decent.
helped you so much in getting him because
Yeah,
firstly,
you did. You really
I did the trade to get you there, and then secondly, I took Isaiah Simmons over Chase Young with the Redskins.
In which we thank you. Then we turned around and we still was in the top 10. So we took Jedrick Wills, took a tackle. I mean, he's actually he can actually help a whole lot because Marcus Gilbert and Humphrey,
DJ Humphries.
Well, I like DJ Humphries though.
He's okay. Yeah, they just re-signed him.
I like DJ, but Marcus, he didn't play as he didn't live up to the hype.
He's okay. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Jedrick will really fit in.
Immediate impact improvement.
Yeah, immediately. And then we went the 3rd round. Got Shane Lemieux, guard from Oregon. Immediate help. Who they got at guard? They got Justin Pugh. I like J.R. Sweet. I like J.R. Sweezy.
That's where Dante went a little drunk and went Big 12, Pac-10 biased.
Come on, I only picked.
What pick was Shane Lemieux? But I
round
like
3,
him. I like him as a
72.
guard.
Pick 72, round 3.
And then what other picks did you have besides that?
Yeah, that's it.
That was it? Oh, he's the 3rd in the line.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was it.
So, I mean, you address the inside of the line, you address the outside of the line, and you got Chase Young. Good draft.
Got Chase Young.
That's really it. You got
Pretty
Chase Young, address both parts of the line, which is the biggest need on the team.
Right.
So,
I think
I'll give it an A minus.
I'll get it an A minus too.
Yeah.
A minus.
Because you are hurting a little bit at corner now because you got rid of Patrick Peterson.
Because we got rid of Patrick Peterson.
And now you don't have your first next year, but those are both very fixable problems.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll give it A minus. Who else had a grade for that? We got Dennis. Ryan, Dennis, somebody. More grades.
That's it.
A minus.
Give it an
I
A.
can't hear either of you guys if you're talking.
I said I give it an A.
Oh, okay. A minus. Tyler, what'd you give it?
A minus.
A minus. Yeah, so pretty much A minus all the way across. I think that's the best consensus draft so far because everybody voted A. So
Right.
next team.
Los Angeles Rams.
They got nothing in this draft.
Nothing. I mean,
You had like what, 1, 2 picks?
3.
3? They were all late though.
Yep. We got the 38th pick from I got that pick from Dennis.
What team did you choose?
I think it was the Panthers. It was Panthers. The 38th pick in round 2. And with that pick, we picked Zach Bond from Wisconsin.
Yep.
At linebacker. So, I mean, that's basically pretty much that's a replacement pick.
For Chandler Jones.
But
or no, this is the Rams. Never mind.
I'm at the Rams. Pretty much that's the replace Clay Matthews.
Yeah.
But then we turned around at 57 at pick 57 and got Troy Dye.
Yeah. Good linebacker. He's right outside that like top 4 in my top 50. He's right outside that top 4 for me.
He's one of the He's a sleeper pick.
Yeah. What pick was that? 3rd round?
That was a 2nd round, pick 57.
Ooh. Okay. I mean, it's a good pick. It might be a little high, but
It's a little high. Yeah, I think it's a little high, but
it depends who's there. I don't remember exactly who was there. I know the top 2 were off in the first round.
And then we got round 3, pick 84. We went with Calvin Throckmorton, offensive guard from Oregon.
All them Oregon players.
And then
you also got oh no, never mind. Keep going.
Pick.
Sorry.
We took Bryce Huff with that pick. With that last, what's that, compensatory pick?
Yeah, the compensatory.
Compensatory pick. Yeah, we took Bryce Huff. So pretty much, we just pretty much addressed the linebacker position and the guard position. I mean,
what was the number on the pick, Bryce Huff?
It was the compensatory pick. I don't know what pick it was.
You took Tyler Huntley with your compensatory. I don't think you took what's his name.
You know what? Yeah, I did.
You took Tyler Huntley
for the Rams. For the Rams. Yeah. Why the hell I put Bryce Huff there? I think I was looking at him.
It was a good draft. I'll give it like a.
Yeah, I think I was looking at. That was Tyler Huntley from Utah, right?
Yeah, the Utah State, the quarterback.
Utah.
I'll give it like a C plus B minus. Nothing flashy. There wasn't much to work with. That's why I give it a B minus.
Give it a B minus.
Yeah, it's definitely in the B's just because there wasn't much to work with, and you didn't do any bad picks. It just wasn't anything crazy.
But San Francisco now.
Niners.
There was only one pick because we traded the Cowboys trade at 31. So the pick was Jared Judy.
No, we gave you 31. You had the 2 picks. Yeah, your other. Yeah, I gave. Remember, we had the confusion because I had it down as you had the pick first, and then everybody yelled at me, and then I was actually right. And then you took what's his name? Let me see who you took.
13. I took Jared Judy.
And then you took Malik Harrison. You took Malik Harrison at 51.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Nice.
So you had.
That was it. That was the only 2 picks.
So Jerry Judy, and then you got that
Malik.
pick in the trade and took, and took Malik Harrison at linebacker.
Harrison.
I mean, I like that's interesting. Adding Malik Harrison to that linebacker core that's already there for the Niners. That's very interesting.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Pull it up.
Just to see because they
Yeah,
had
Quan Alexander, Fred
Quan
Warner, and Drake
Alexander,
Greenlaw were
Fred
that kind of
Warner,
that like trio this year. That linebacker, the best linebacker trio in the league this year. You add what's his face? Malik Harrison as that like fourth linebacker in that mix. I like that a lot.
linebacker.
Yeah. Jerry Jeudy. That's that was a good pick at 13. Jerry Jeudy, Debo Samuel, like look,
And Marquise Goodwin.
you're just giving your quarterback you're invested in and your overall went to the Super Bowl last year team, just a big weapon in Jerry Jeudy there. Best wide receiver on my board.
They got Travis Benjamin.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he can't catch though.
Can't catch for shit. Wasn't that your boy, Tyler?
No.
I hope Travis Benjamin breaks his leg.
Wow.
He's a fucking loser.
Wow.
I single-handedly watched that man drop 7 wide-open touchdowns on the Chargers.
Couldn't even catch a cold in December.
Yeah, that one game was real bad. But, yeah, so I'll give it –
Don't get me started.
Who was the third pick? Who was the third pick?
Yeah, it wasn't no more pick.
It was just the 2 picks?
Yeah, it was just the 2 picks.
I'll give it a A- to an A. Somewhere between A- and an A for me.
Yeah, I can go A-.
I mean, Malik Harrison was a cool pick. It's just kind of glorizing that linebacker core.
That linebacker
There's a few other needs, but I mean, so it's not a terrible pick. I feel like he probably could have went corner, but
yeah, I think so too.
It was okay. It was a okay pick, but I like Jerry Jeudy a lot, and you made good picks with what you had. So I'll give it a B+ since there was only 2 picks actually. Can't go in that A's.
B+.
Yeah.
And next is Seattle on the board.
Seattle. Go for it.
First round, we went and took a running back, John Taylor, Wisconsin.
Yeah, pretty late.
Which I feel like was a good pick because that was one of the positions that we really needed a solid running back in. And we don't know what's
whiffed on Rashad Penny.
Jesus Christ. I only want to mention that.
Yeah, you add him with Chris Carson. That's a really, really good duo.
That's a 1-2 punch right there, yeah. And then round 2, pick 59, we went D tackle. Justin, I cannot get this boy name. Matabuke. Yeah, there you go. Texas A&M. Let me see what we got at D tack. All right. So then we went pick 64. We went Lavert Hill, cornerback, Michigan.
Okay.
And we did. The compensatory pick was we took a wide receiver in the compensatory pick.
Yeah.
Quintez Cephas.
Yep.
Wide receiver, Wisconsin.
I think
He's
the
a
rule
sleeper
for
for a lot of
Dante is
people.
if he can't pronounce their name, he's drafting them.
Shut the hell up.
I didn't think corner was too much of a need. You just got Quentin Dunbar, who I think's a pretty damn
Yeah,
good corner.
Yeah, right.
Trey Flowers has been performing well. Nico Thorpe's been okay when he's gotten time. Shaquille Griffin's been Shaquille Griffin, solid.
Yeah, but he had to pair him up with his brother Delano.
Who?
Nah. You didn't need to.
Oh, Delano.
Quandre Diggs has been great at free safety.
Diggs has been a dog.
That was a great pickup by them.
Dog, man. I love that.
Yeah, so I didn't see too much of a need at corner. I'll give it like a B- other than that, the draft. Solid draft.
I'll go B-.
Same.
We're losing people left and right, I think.
Yo, Dante.
Yo.
You gotta try to scroll down for a second.
We just picked Bruce Irvin up.
All right, so Dante, go to your backup punt returner and try to pronounce his name for me.
Amadi Ugochukwu.
All right, that's what we wanted.
All right, you got Black back on the camera.
Yeah.
Dribble himself.
He came back for that one. All right, so I gave it a B minus. Wasn't bad, wasn't crazy. Solid draft overall. And then you just had that was it, right? That was all yours.
Yeah, that was it.
So Don, who was next? Dennis, you were saying you were gonna go, right? When Dante or yeah, I guess not. Black.
Dennis has
Let's
one.
go. God damn it. Get this shit over with. I'm sleeping. All right. So I'm gonna start off with the Vikings. Jared, y'all gonna have to work with me because I did not write this down all the way.
No, you're good. I got it all right here.
But anyway, with my first pick with the Vikings, I went Brandon Ayuk from Arizona State. Needed him with us trading Stephon Diggs for a first. Needed him bad. Straight down the field, receiver. His yards after catch is one of the best out of any of the receivers coming out of the draft besides
He
Jerry Judy.
burned our ass up. That fucking
Best way I
Arizona
describe him is
organization.
electric.
Oh, yeah. Also, we can use him in the return game. I came back and drafted the DN and Yurto Gross Matos to replace Everson Griffin and team up with Daniil Hunter. Also with us losing Linville Joseph. So we needed another edge rusher, good speed off the end, very productive. And some of the average more. Some of the tackle for losses in the NCAA this year. Then I doubled back and drafted KJ Hamler, another explosive slot receiver / kick returner, punt returner from Penn State. And I also drafted some horrible ass linemen from some school. I don't give a damn.
So who was between
So it was Brandon Ayuk, Yatir Gross Matos, and KJ Hamler. And I think that lineman was from Louisiana Tech, who I drafted it, that compensatory pick.
what you said it was compensatory?
Yeah, that lineman it was.
Oh no, Ben Barch from
Grim Barch.
it's Big Ten. What team? I'm blanking out. They're all red.
Yeah.
Every team in the Big Ten's red. It's very
What about
annoying.
Wisconsin?
Is it Wisconsin, Ben Barch?
No, I think he's Texas Tech.
Is he?
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure he's Big Ten.
I don't give a damn where he's from. He ain't.
But
gonna-
anyways, yeah, he's a good tackle though.
Yeah.
I like that draft a lot. I give it a A, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
I just filled a lot. I just filled a lot of holes that needed to be filled.
It might be the best draft I have so far.
He's from St. John's.
Yeah. Okay. Anyways,
Yeah, I got him from the Red Storm, so I know he ain't gonna play.
One big reason is the Yetur Gross Matos pick. I like the pick. I like the player. And in my mock draft, with those 2 first-round picks, I've been moving the 22nd pick around constantly, and the one pick that stayed is 25 Yetur Gross Matos to the Vikings.
Very
That's
productive.
been I've moved Javon Kinlaw at number 2, Justin Jefferson I have right now, but it's always been Yetur at that second Vikings pick. I love that pick.
I had to go with him. I couldn't pass him up. Daniil Hunter needs a buddy.
You lose Stephon Diggs, you get a very similar kind of play style receiver who, like I said, the one word I used to describe him is electric.
Oh, yeah.
So he replaces Stephon Diggs. And then you had KJ Hamler.
Yeah.
To go with him, BC Johnson, and Adam Thielen. That's great.
Yeah, nasty. So I had to go with that. So,
Yeah, you still addressed O-line late with a good player.
Yeah.
So you hit on all your picks. I give it an A. Probably might be my best draft so far.
Yep. All right.
Really? Tired shirt.
What's the next thing?
Yeah, all right. Anyway,
There's Dennis.
Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna go with the Lions next. With their first pick, I picked up Jeff Okuda.
Detroit.
It's the pick.
It's the pick that everybody knew. I don't believe in Desmond Trufant at all. With us trading Darius Slay to the Eagles, I had to get us a rock, somebody that I know is going to come compete every single down, every Sunday. And, I don't have to worry about him giving up to him. I picked up Jeff Okuda. I came back in the second round and picked up Clyde O'Hara, old boy from the running back from LSU.
Yeah.
I needed a complimentary running back to complement Kerryon Johnson.
We
Who,
got both.
yeah. So who stays?
I was a big fan of Black in this draft. I'm telling you, I liked all his drafts.
And then I doubled back in the third round. I picked up Akeem Davis Gaither, a good, solid high motor linebacker, sideline to sideline from Appalachian State. Love him. I feel like he brings a bunch of energy to Matt Patricia's defense, in which they need. So that was it on the Lions.
And that was all their picks.
Yeah, that was all they picks on the line.
Another A.
Also, I had traded. Me and the Eagles had swapped picks, and I had moved down. No,
yes. No, this is the trade that I said, the Fletcher Cox trade I mentioned in my rundown.
Cox as well.
Yeah, I ran it down in the Eagles store already.
Oh yeah,
It was
you got a 100. You passed on that one.
It was pick 35.
Not giving a best player up.
It was pick 35 and pick like 61.
Yeah.
I was going to pick 53 Fletcher Cox, and I think you gave me a third next year too.
Yeah, and I was going to pick Ross Blaylock from TCU. Yeah.
Because I remember you were like, I need a D tackle, but I'm not. So I was like, all right, here you go. I sent one over.
You want? Hey, listen, the Lions won that draft. maybe the only thing the Lions will ever win, but the Lions won that draft.
So, man, I had to do what I had to do, man. You know what I mean?
I give it an A. Trade that worked for both sides worked really well for him. So,
I don't know about that trade working for both sides, but I know
they got a D tackle. They're gonna have to replace him soon, but they got a D tackle, a very good, very, very, very good D tackle.
Here's what I want to know: if we traded Fletcher Cox, why couldn't we get one of their wide receivers? Why wouldn't we get Galladay?
I doubt the Lions will come up with Kenny Galladay for a 29-year-old D tackle when they're already giving up a second-round pick and a third-round pick.
Years old.
They're already giving up a second, third, and what's it called? A second this year, a third next year, and then that's the 35th pick. That's like very early in the second round. It's basically a first-round pick.
So that's I mean, I needed it. I mean, hell,
yeah,
you know what I mean, especially with what I got. So fuck it. Gotta add another pass rusher with Trey Flowers, and we just let Devin Kennard go. So we
could have just did the typical Lions thing and drafted a wide
receiver. You got my number one
round.
player on my board.
I know, right?
You got my number one running back on my board, Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Man, you gotta do your little math here, man. All right, so let's keep it moving because I'm ready to go to bed now.
Yep. So who you got? Packers.
So I'm going to the Packers. Needed a DT. Needed a rock to go next to Kenny Clark. I drafted Raekwon Davis from Alabama. Very productive, strong at the point of contact. Loved him there. Somehow, some way, we will stop the run. I don't know why we can't stop the run in the playoffs. I double back and picked a what I would call developmental guy. I like his upside. I like his ceiling. Isaiah Wilson, tackle from Georgia. If I can just keep him consistent, let him work with my O-line coach, hopefully he can get a little better. And then I came back and picked up Devin Mims. But I got Devin Mims in the second, and I got Isaiah Wilson in the third. Denzel Mims. I needed Denzel Mims to complement Devontae Adams. With us not having a tight end, really. And then Geronimo Allison going to the Lions and Valdez-Scantling being decent and Alan Lazard being okay. So I needed that.
Being decent.
Yeah, they're decent. Fucking try hard. Yeah.
It's classic.
Yeah. But anyway, that was the draft for the Packers.
Another good draft.
Yeah, I give it like a B plus. I mean, that's the best I could do with what they had.
I give it a B plus. B plus closer to A minus actually, like in between.
All right, let's ride.
Yeah, let's keep going. All right, so I got the Bears, man.
You know they terrible.
Is this your squad? Wait, who's your squad again? I don't know who it is this year.
Hey man, not on the stream. If I cuss you out. Anyway, so man, I took with the pick they had, man. I took Jalen Reagor. I couldn't pass it. I'm trying to give as many targets as I can to Mr. Trubisky. Trying to see I can develop. It's hard, but we lost Taylor Gabriel. We let him go in free agency. He wasn't very productive, so I had to go with Jalen Reagor. Can't pass up the speed. I doubled back and picked up a tight end with Cole Kmet, number one tight end from Notre Dame. So I felt that kind of filled out our draft board, even though I needed to address my O-line as well. But
you only had 2 picks, though.
Yeah, I only had 2 picks, so I could.
And linemen were just flying off the board, so it's like, you know what?
Yeah,
we really need to jump in the race at this point.
Yeah,
so it was just get good players.
Yeah, because it was only 7 good linemen tackles to me anyway, and that's what I needed to do.
Solid B
Yeah.
draft.
Yeah.
Can't go in the A's just because it's only 2 picks, like a few of the teams already. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I give it a B.
NFC North, I did the best I could. Fuck it.
now overall, I think you had the best division so far. You had like 3 A's pretty much for me.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Call me Mike Mayock.
You're out of here though.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay on to listen to old boy with his picks, and then I'm
Yeah.
Yeah, talking about me,
We're recording late at night, so people.
Yeah.
Yeah, this will be the. I think I'm the last one, ain't I?
Yeah, you.
Yep.
All right. Let's start with the easiest one. Let's go with the Saints, man. Let's go with the Saints. Let's just try to run this thing down. You know, with the Saints, I felt as though they needed another wide receiver, so I got them Justin Jefferson, somebody to go ahead and grow with Michael Thomas. For some reason, I didn't have another pick until later, and I used that one on a corner to get some help with the defensive backs. So I got them Lamar Jackson. Those are my 2 picks there.
Yeah, that was pick 88.
Right.
It was towards the end of the 3rd round.
Right.
Solid picks. Okay. I remember the Jordan Jefferson pick was one of my favorite in the draft. The second you picked it, I'm like, you got some route running on that team. With Drew Brees, who's one of the most accurate quarterbacks ever, if not the most accurate quarterback ever.
Yeah.
That's so much potential.
Yeah.
Wow. That was, I give that an A- to an A. Definitely. Probably an A. I'll give it an A.
Okay. Well, let's go to the Atlanta Falcons. I know the Atlanta Falcons needed some help getting some pressure.
Yep.
So what I did was I gave them K'Lavon Chasen from LSU in the 1st round. And then in the 2nd round, I gave them Ross Blacklock. And in the 3rd round, I gave them a 3rd wide receiver because I know they love to be 3 wide receivers deep. So I gave them Michael Pittman Jr. to, erase that Mohamed Sanu loss. So now they could go back to being a 3 wide receiver set, 1 tight end, 1 running back, still running the offense the same way.
I like it. I give it a B. I don't believe in Chason. I feel like he's Vic Beasley all over again. I just don't like his production.
That's why I had to put Ross Blackman there.
Yeah, I like Blaylock to take. He's a pass rusher, underrated pass rusher at that. He can take up a lot of
right out your state.
Yeah, I like it. It was a good draft. I like it a B. If Chason, if you can develop Chason, you can actually get production out of him. I like it.
Now, for mine, let me do a little bit of counter. I hear what he's saying about Chason. Definitely not Vic Beasley because he is twice the player Vic Beasley is in terms of mentally and just everything about his personality and leadership. He is far, far past what Vic Beasley ever could be.
But I'm talking about like stature, not like his like.
No, I know, but I feel like that plays a part. That plays a part.
Yeah.
That definitely plays a part.
Yeah.
And I think he has more potential for sure than Vic Beasley.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because he can actually also drop back in certain zone coverages and like spy situations. He can drop back pretty well.
That's why I got Ross Blaylock the team up with Grady Jarrett.
Yeah, it made sense. I liked it.
I would say he's a replacement for Grady Jarrett because Tyler Davison wasn't actually terrible for the Saints.
Well, it's not the Saints.
No, it's the Falcons.
No, I know. I'm saying he's on the Falcons now. He was on the Saints last year. He was pretty good. He's a young guy too.
Yeah, but he's not going to start over Ross Blaylock. Period.
No. I'm saying because Grady Jarrett's got to be gone within the year. He's going to be gone within a year.
Yeah.
So then it's going to be Tyler Davison and him. So it's for the future pretty much.
Yeah.
And
Alan
Alan Bailey at the end. So you
them 2 plugging up holes, that'll be pretty good. Which will give Debo more room to play around with because he's
I feel like with those 2 picks, you're pretty much completing your D line. I think Caleb on Jason would beat out Alan Bailey for a job at left end for sure.
Yeah.
Fowler he actually played well for the Rams at the like that edge rush guy.
You know what? I forgot they had them. Fuck that. I get that draft to A. I like that.
I was going A-. I mean, I love
with him
that
and
pick.
Chason coming off those edges, that's nasty.
Those 2 picks, and then you got what's his name in later.
Yeah.
Michael Pittman Jr.
Michael Pittman. You put him with Calvin Ridley and Julio Jones. He's a go up and get it guy.
Yeah.
So now you have three like good receivers. Yeah.
I got 3. They could go back to their 3 wide receiver set that they always run.
So you made 3 picks work super well, and so it's an A. Actually, it's an A.
That was a good draft.
We'll give it an A.
Let's go to
so
the
far.
Bucks, man. Let's go to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Oh God.
I didn't do as well as I should have with them because the runoff of tackles went so fast. So I said I had to get the best running back in my eyes that was available. I got DeAndre Swift straight out of Philadelphia. I guess I was being a homer. Oh well.
I mean, look at that offense now.
Yeah.
They just need a running back.
Well, this is before we knew Gronk was there, so
All right.
let's get that out of the way.
Now they not only can pass, they can run. I love that
also went the second round and got Ezra Cleveland to try to get me some help on that O-line.
Polarizing.
And I went back in the third round and got Nick Harris.
Yeah, another lineman from Washington.
Yeah.
Oh.
I tried to get as much lineman help as Brady's gonna need it.
I give it a B plus because they line was ranked 10th in pass protection, so that's not the bottom of the barrel. They just needed a right tackle with Ezra Cleveland. I feel like that's an upgrade. So
I didn't like the Nick Harris pick. I felt like there was like a handful of interior guards that were better.
yeah.
Probably so.
But
I ain't gonna lie, it probably was.
That's a
Ben Bredesen, Matt Hennessy, Sadiq Charles. Well, Sadiq Charles is outside.
Matt Hennessy is who I should have went after.
Yeah.
But I forgot about him. That's what it was.
No, I mean it's not a terrible pick. It's still an O-line pick, regardless whether they're.
Now this is the Panthers. I think I won the draft with the Panthers.
You did some movement.
I think I won the draft with the Panthers. I'm just saying. No disrespect to nobody, but I think I won the draft with the Panthers.
All right, let's hear it.
Pick, I went and picked Javon Kinlaw from South Carolina.
They needed it.
Yeah.
On a trade back, right?
And then I went and I traded my second pick, and I got Cooper Kupp at the wide receiver position.
What was the trade down from 7 to 9? Because you traded down and still got Kinlaw.
I don't know. I think I got some picks. I ain't get no players
Let me see.
because I ended up with Kyle Douglas.
I'll investigate. You're good.
I got Kyle Douglas in the second round, and I got Jalen Johnson. And then the last pick, I got A.J. Dillon. I got me a big back to go help out Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, another A draft for me.
Yeah, that's an A.
Bunch of need picks, and they were all very good picks and good.
I think
value.
I fixed the secondary, the D-line, my wide receiver position, and I got a backup running back.
Yeah.
Only if Teddy Bridgewater can deliver.
You did trades that still benefited, and you still got the players you wanted at the picks you traded down from.
Yeah, that's why I said the Panthers was like the best.
It was a very good. There's a lot of good drafts, and it was in there with them for sure.
Damn sure it was. Man.
And then you had one more, right? Or was that it?
No, that was it. That was all.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, we didn't have some of the groups, so we didn't get some divisions, but a lot of good drafts.
Definitely a lot of good drafts.
It was fun. It was fun recapping it too, thinking about it after the fact.
So when's the next podcast? That's just the question I got.
Huh?
When's the next one? Because
probably a little sooner next week, just because of the draft. We want to get a draft recap in soon, so probably early next week, maybe like Monday or Tuesday. I might do it, so we'll see.
All right, let me know.
I'll definitely keep in touch with you. Yeah. Yeah, it took a lot longer than we thought, so we're probably
Tuesday's
not going to
no go. I got Talk Your Wish Tuesday on Tuesday.
Yeah. Yeah, I know it's late, and this ran a lot longer than I thought it would, so I wanted to cover some of the draft, but I know you guys are leaving, so anything else?
Are we doing something after the draft or what?
Yeah, like Monday or Tuesday. Whoever wants to come on can come on.
Make it Tuesday, because Monday I ain't getting on here.
Yeah, so Tuesday we'll do a recap episode of the draft.
Why you don't just do it? Why you don't just do it Sunday?
Or we can do
Yeah,
it
I was going to say Sunday too.
Sunday's a good day for everybody.
I might not be home. I might not be home Sunday, but we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll figure it out in the group chat, and then I'll probably post it around anyway. So, Anything else from anyone
Where
before?
are you going on these Corona streets anyway?
I'm roaming, all right? I'm social distancing, but I'm roaming.
He's P-dribbler.
Out here in these Corona streets, hey man.
I follow all my precautions. Don't you
All
worry.
right, man. Stay safe, man.
You stay safe, all right?
I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere until I see the golf courses and country clubs open. I ain't going nowhere.
Or a football game.
They'll go football game. I mean, basketball too. Basketball start, I'll go somewhere.
Yeah.
Then I know they got a vaccine somewhere.
If anybody's going to get it first, it's going to be Magic Johnson.
Oh, hell, I'm out. I wasn't going.
Gotta go.
I'm out. I wasn't going.
Boy, ain't worth a shit.
He said he doesn't say that on the airwaves.
No, I don't say none of that on the FCC airwaves.
All right, I'm going to end this because y'all are getting crazy. It's late, and y'all want to go to bed, obviously. So
That's a fact.
Never know who watching you. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a hoot who's watching.
Well, put your camera on, motherfucker.
Listen, mister, I don't want my government name out here.
Hey, man, say I don't. Shit, make me think you work for the First 48 or some shit.
All right, P-dribble.
He gave you a cigarette or some shit and you just snitched.
all right, this is over. Everybody have a good night. Stay safe.
All right, P. Dribbles.
It was fun. We'll be back at it Tuesday.
Hey, yo.
Hey, yo, P.